This is Dale the Demon Torborg.
My name is Bryce Rensburg. I'm the Chikara Senior Official. This is April Hunter from aprilhunter.com.
I'm Bobby Ches, a three-time world champion, Showtime expert analyst.
This is Coolio with the Flow, a.k.a. the Ghetto Gourmet.
This is Dan the B7, the only Triple Crown champion in the UFC history.
Hi, everybody. This is Jerry the King Lawler. That's right, WWE Hall of Famer.
This is Jeff Damon from Deadliest Warrior on Spike TV.
You have tuned in and are now live listening to the three-time NWA Heavyweight Champion of the World, Scrapper Nana Pierce. And just like you, I am also locked in. And, brother, we are beyond ringside.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, liftoff.
It is with great honor and great pride that I get a chance to say, greetings, good evening, and how the hell are you? Welcome to your home for wrestling, mixed martial arts, sports talk, and a whole lot more. This is Beyond Ringside. Before I go any further, the little piece of music you hear, courtesy of Rush, the spirit of radio, and in my humble opinion, that is what this show embodies. Having fun, having a good time, doing what we do best, and we still haven't frickin' figured that out yet. The Magic City Motor Mouth, Fast Steady Lane behind the control panel. Thank you for joining us on this Sunday. Yes, kicking off a little bit early. Welcoming in tag team partners, the one, the only Mark Mabo Bowman.
That would be me.
Yes, it would.
Well, you didn't say anything. You just said my name. You're supposed to say...
I said welcoming in.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry. I'm just a little off today. I got pulled over by the police earlier, and the cop walked up, and he said papers, and I said scissors, and then I took off.
Welcoming in tag team partner, the Oracle of Ominous, the Architect of Intellect, the Wicked Nemesis.
This is the sheeple-free area. No grazing sheeple.
Welcoming in special guest tag team partner, Mad Dog Matt Denton. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Hashtag steel horsing.
Let's take that one for one hot second. First off, want to give very heartfelt thank yous to the British Lion Tommy Taylor for joining us this past Tuesday night for a very special interview. Also to the brand new Vintage Wrestling Champion out of Vintage Wrestling down in Florida, Corey Chavis, one half of the Dark City Fight Club, for joining us this past Tuesday as well. You've had a chance to catch the interviews on our podcast as well as through the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. Primary player very much available at beyondringside.com. A couple of quick notes. Number one, if you use Shoutcast or the Shoutcast mobile app, which is available for Android and BlackBerry, I believe it may be available for Apple format as well. You can catch us live on your phone or your tablet. If you use Ustream for any of the platforms, you can also catch us either audio feed or video feed directly through those as well. I believe if you're using Ustream mobile, you get around the Ustream ads. There are a couple other ways that you can catch us. I do believe also the Beyond Ringside Facebook fan page, which is facebook.com/Beyond Ringside Live. The regular Beyond Ringside Friends page, facebook.com/Beyond Ringside. 5,400 plus people on the friends list. Facebook will not let us add anybody else. Please go to the fan page. Also on Twitter at Beyond Ringside. Royal Rumble weekend for us always holds a very special place because a few years ago, this incarnation of Beyond Ringside made its debut/return or return/debut. Rotating members of the cast, different voices, different faces. The intent is still there to shine the brightest possible light on the world of independent professional wrestling. And we're not afraid to speak our minds about the big one, big two, big 2.5 right now. And I'll just go ahead and say big 3 because I do count Ring of Honor in that category. Television deals mean a lot around here. Trust me on that one. I'm just going to jump right on into it. Gentlemen, Royal Rumble starts in 1 hour and 54 minutes. What has been the number one selling point for you as to whether or not you're really going to watch the pay-per-view this evening, much less make it worth ordering? Mark Bowman.
Oh, for me, it's always who's going to show up. That's always been my big deal. It's, the Rumble itself, and more than just the Rumble itself. Everything that goes on from who's going to show up to, in the past when John Morrison or Kofi Kingston or, whomever, does a sick, just the sickest spot you've ever seen, from Morrison going Spider-Man, all the way, from the ring apron to the guardrail to Kofi doing the handstand, all of it. That's always been to me. I mean, honestly, punk rock, that's going to be good. Looking forward to that. Going to see how that plays out. But yeah, overall, it's always the Rumble itself. That's why I get it.
Wicked Nemesis, come on in.
I believe that it's always going to be the Royal Rumble, hence the Royal Rumble being one of the big quote-unquote four. And for me, it's always going to be who shows up. At least we not forget Kevin Nash. Was it last year or the year before?
2 years ago.
I think it was year before, because it was him. It was Kevin Nash and Booker T, and I believe one other sort of, I guess you could say, legend came out.
Okay.
I forgot who the other legend was, but I think Kevin Nash kind of stole that because he got the "You Still Got It" chant, which you don't hear too often from the WWE fans. Maybe this, the Ring of Honor, the ECW fans, those type, the quote-unquote smart marks are the ones that generally give this chant. And, for them to get it and for Kevin Nash to get it, and Kevin Nash looked in great shape. He really did. Dyed the hair black and then went out and did his thing. I've already heard one name that's supposedly going to be there. I'm excited for that. I hope that it happens. But if it doesn't, it is what it is. But to me, it's always going to be the surprise entrance into the Royal Rumble. But Rock and Punk are right there selling it.
You got it. Matt Denton, your thoughts?
I have to concur with both Mabo and Wicked Nemesis there. It has to be whoever shows up. And also, I guess, kind of the comedy spots for me as well. Like last year was Ricardo Rodriguez coming in a really beat-up car in Alberto Del Rio style tights, just having fun out there. And it was like, is that going to happen again this year? And also Kofi Kingston as well, because was it last year that he had the handstand save thing?
Yeah, I believe it was.
It was. Because
there has to be something like that this year as well, because considering the year before it was John Morrison with his Spider-Man shtick. So yeah, it's got to be fun.
Yeah. See, on a personal note, I look at it from a number of different angles. The Rumble match is always going to be probably the most entertaining, because you always ask yourself, how many are they going to let stay in the ring before people get eliminated? Or are they going to let somebody just start from the beginning and bodies go flying and wait till later to try to build up to see exactly who they let go in what direction? Because the Royal Rumble, when properly done, and we've all seen a number of different Rumble-style matchups, and properly executed with the right talent in the ring, they're a thing of beauty to watch. But when you've got something flying by the seat of its pants, and I don't mean that in a good way, it looks like a complete cluster bang. And that's the nice way of putting it. Hell damn ass. There's your reference for the week. Figured I'd get that one in there early. But it's also an opportunity to see how they really get out of last year's storylines and programs and reset everything going on the road to WrestleMania. Because you've got a couple of issues that have been carried over from 2012. You've got to reset things or get ready to push them that much harder as you're on the road to WrestleMania. And you're also getting ready to start playing chess with a number of people on the A list and the B list. And I don't care what you say, there is an A, B, and C when it comes down to it. C, of course, in WWE means enhancement talent. So that's the easy way to put that. So I look at the overall picture. The Rumble itself should be the most entertaining match on the show. However, you've got a great chance for a number of people who are not in the Rumble to make statements on the first pay-per-view outing of the year. And that's what January is, whether it be in wrestling, mixed martial arts, boxing, whether it be in any sport whatsoever. Your initial outing, your first major outing of the year, has to be a statement show. It's got to be something that's going to get the attention. It's got to keep your attention, and it's going to make you want to think, hopefully, in a good way. And we've seen Royal Rumble pay-per-views that have made us all sit back and go, what the hell? And we've seen others that just make us go, what the hell? That was cool. I mean, have we not? I think we all have. And, I'm going to segue for one hot second because I know, Matt, there was something that you wanted to bring up because of an experience you had this weekend, right?
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Wicked probably popped right now. No, yeah, this weekend was actually pretty fun. I went to TNA tapings last night, and in one of the most surreal nights of my life, I actually got to go to the after party with, thanks to Mr. Rob Van Dam, because I did work on his comic book last year. Actually, no, 2 years ago now. Wow, that long. But yeah, it was really interesting to see what goes on behind the scenes. Not behind the curtain, obviously. It's just like seeing a bunch of people you see on TV in a situation that you never thought you would see them. It's like, I actually got to talk to RVD and Joseph Park about marijuana and gun control, which is surreal in itself.
That first one, I'd love to be a part of the conversation. Right, Wick?
But yeah, it was really crazy just to see what happens. And unfortunately, I didn't get to buy anybody a drink because the hotel was, I guess for a 4-star hotel, they wouldn't take cash and they wouldn't serve somebody who wasn't a resident of the hotel. So,
wow,
yeah,
an establishment that sells alcohol that doesn't take money.
I know.
Holy nutmeg!
It's insane. Like I was sitting next to James Storm as he was ordering another round. And he was like, okay, here's my hotel card. Just bill it to my room. He's like, we can't actually serve you because you haven't put your credit card details on the system. I think he had to call up Chavo to bum off his room key.
Human chess at its finest. A whole bunch of wrestlers in a damn bar.
Like, it was really interesting. Like, Sting was there. He wasn't there for the after party. He came in like first before everybody else came in, and I was sitting there. I was like, holy crap, that's Sting. And me being taught about respect, I wasn't about to go up to him as he was checking into the hotel and be like, hey Sting, can I get an autograph? Can I get a picture? Blah, 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 blah. I just actually sat there and watched in awe as he walked about a foot away from me and walked all the way to his hotel room.
That's a question I want to take around the horn real quick. And in all sincerity, in or out of the business doesn't matter. The most interesting person that you have met in professional wrestling, whether it be a conversation, whether it just be hanging out with him for a minute, not really getting to talk directly to him, either way, who would that person be? Mabo, for you.
Oh, for me, someone who's actually met a lot of people. Honestly, probably the first one that really said was, and actually was like, hey, we're about to eat, you want to join us, was Devin Storm, or you might remember him from his WCW days as Crowbar.
Right.
He, I was talking to him because I've been following him from the time he was on the Indies to when he signed up with WCW for Crowbar. And they were here in Birmingham, Alabama. And I was talking to him for a minute, and it was him and Jeremy Borash. They were like, well, look, we were about to eat. Do you want to, sit down with us? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I sat down and, we talked about a lot of stuff. And it was just really cool to get to meet him and hang out with him and just BS with him for a minute. And then there was another time, probably the most educated in the most bizarre way of educations that I've had time to spend with would have been the chance that I got to sort of, I guess you could say, sit under the learning tree with Al Snow. For those who remember Seth Skyfire or Sinister Seth Stevens that used to be with Global Championship Wrestling, he had signed a developmental deal with WWE. He was up in OVW. So myself and GCW heavyweight champion O'Hagan and another person, we drove up there to see him at OVW. He was supposed to wrestle he was supposed to actually have a match with Rey Mysterio, who was the world heavyweight champion at the time, at Six Flags in Kentucky. Well, since it was an outdoor arena, it rained and everything, was canceled because it was lightning going on. But Al came up and was talking to Seth Skyfire's parents and a couple of other. We were all just kind of standing there, and he was talking, and I can't go quite into detail what he said, but it involved how women secretly communicate through their vaginas with each other. And just, I would love to spend, as far as actors / comedians, I would love to spend a day with Robin Williams. Aside from Mick Foley, if I could spend one day with somebody in the pro wrestling business, it would have to be Al Snow, just to listen to him.
And Matt Denton, come on in for that before I go to Wick.
Most interesting person would actually have to be Rob Van Dam, because he's afforded me a lot of opportunities that I wouldn't have gotten without him, like working on his comic book, producing his radio show, and stuff like last night. I was just like, hey, I understand you're going to be in town. I'm going to go see the TV tapings. I'm going to meet up afterwards, and I'll buy you a drink or something. He's like, sure, this is where we're staying. Come on down, blah, 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 blah. And I spent a fair few hours just hanging around pretty much the entire TNA locker room. And I thought, people such as Al Snow. Al Snow was there, D'Lo Brown was there, Simon Diamond was there, which I wasn't expecting at all. And actually, most of the top talent. The only person that I didn't see hanging around was Hulk Hogan, because apparently he was staying at a different hotel, which seemed a bit weird to me, considering Sting was staying at the same hotel as the party, but Hogan was elsewhere. But yeah, definitely RVD and Chris Parks, because it was very enlightening last night talking about the whole pot and gun control situation in America.
And for the record, it's not Puff Puff Give, it's Puff Puff Pass. Wicked Nemesis, come on in.
I'm sorry, there's not anybody that I would care to put over right now, so nobody.
Okay.
No offense.
Oh, you moody son of a gun.
And actually...
I'm sorry, I can't, because when you start doing that, you start dropping names like that, then you sound like a mark when you're in the business, so...
In that case, I'm still going to do it, because there's two, because...
No, that's fine. You can, I can.
Okay. When I was out one night after a WCW show, I was hanging at a nice little bar where the girls wear the bright orange shorts, and who happens to walk in other than Chris Jericho and Dean Malenko? And I have an opportunity, flag them over for a second, introduce myself, and we start talking for a minute, and we took turns buying each other drinks. I think we were rotating pitchers of beer, and from that vantage point, spent 90 minutes, 2 hours, just everything from music to the pro wrestling industry and the sport of professional wrestling, all the way across to other forms of entertainment, and thoroughly enjoyed myself in that conversation. The other one would probably have to be the top moment. I was working at a nice little place in Pensacola, Florida, and lo and behold, for no reason whatsoever, but Mark Calloway and Brian Adams, also called Taker and Crush, came through the door, and you cannot mistake those shadows when you're in the DJ booth at one end of a room and the setting sun is shining bright through the door, and you see these two monster freaking figures walk through, and about 10 feet into the door, it's like, holy crap. So invited them up to the DJ booth. We stood, we spoke, and I seem to remember most of what happened that day, because the conversation, and I know that Taker doesn't drink anymore, and this might have been one of the precursory elements to him not, but we were having a great conversation, spoke for about 15 minutes, and I offered to buy him a cocktail, and lo and behold, my favorite waitress came up, and she's 5'0", so she's looking up at them going, holy crap, you're tall, which is not exactly what she said. It would have probably been something like what Matt Denton would have been saying on Wednesday nights, or during a first date. But that, from that vantage point, no comment.
I'll let that one slide, considering it's your birthday, old man.
Thank you very much. Yes, I am MC T-Rex. Leave me alone. But yeah, they stayed for about 2 hours, 2.5, and needless to say, I remember 90% of the day as it occurred. I developed a whole new affinity for double shots of Jack Daniels that day, and that's all I'm going to say about it. But Also, don't forget, we'd love to hear your comments. If you've got thoughts coming up about the Royal Rumble this evening, or if you've got celebrity encounters, whether it be in and out of professional wrestling, let us know. Tweet us at Beyond Ringside. Drop us a note. Facebook over on Facebook, facebook.com/Beyond Ringside Live, or check our friends page and make a post onto the one that we just added about the show preparation. From that vantage point, you can also shoot us an email, beyondringside@gmail.com, and our chat room, very much available. Johnny C. popped over a minute ago, saw you in chat. Good to see him. Number of people have been in and out of the different chats that we've got up and going all the way throughout the afternoon, so thank you for joining us on this Sunday thing. Going 8 minutes before the top of the hour, bottom of the hour, scheduled to be joined by Juan Francisco de Coronado in just a few minutes right here on Beyond Ringside. Also scheduled to be joined by Gavin Loudspeaker, also known as Loud and Noxious, courtesy of Chikara and or Kaiju Big Battle. Going after our 7 o'clock hour, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to be joined by Mixed Martial Arts promoters Jason Sanderson from Bama Fighting, that's going to be holding a show in the Huntsville, Alabama market. Also, David Elder, good friend of ours from Strike Hard Mixed Martial Arts, is going to be joining us around 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. So we have got a stacked lineup, and we may have some surprises coming up. Rumor has it there might be a Tasha Simone sighting around here somewhere. Brooks Logan is floating around. Vicky Jackson is going to be joining us a little bit later on in the evening. One question that I want to ask before we go to the bottom of the hour break. Very easily asked, as it was made public this week on WWE programming, the newest entrant into the WWE Hall of Fame this year is going to be, we'll talk about that during the break, Matt, is going to be Bob Backlund. Now, first question of a two-parter. Number one, is this overdue? Should he not have been put in sooner? And if you say, and give a reason why. Number two, one of the more interesting articles that I've been reading on different sites throughout the week is who should be the one to induct Backlund into the Hall of Fame. Mark Bowman, you're in leadoff.
I don't really know, Eddie. Don't really care. Never been a fan of Bob Backlund.
Okay. Wicked.
Yeah, Backlund should have been a long time ago. With his reign as it was, and him being so much better than Hogan, that they were like, well, let's put it on Sheik to give to Hogan. It speaks wonders. Backlund's just crazy, but you know what? Who isn't in the Hall of Fame? So he should have been in years ago. Just my opinion, though.
Okay. Matt Denton.
Yeah, definitely Bob Backlund should have been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago for reasons that Wicked and Mabo just mentioned. But I believe there was a situation where Bob actually refused a few times to go into the Hall of Fame.
Right.
So that's probably why it's taken so long.
Yeah, he felt that he had, some reports have said that he felt like he had one more good run left in him, and therefore he really didn't want to do the Hall of Fame thing because he kept hoping to be, that there would be a storyline come up for him in the E. And if it had not been for that, you know, there are some people here comes your drinking game for the day. There are some people in this business and in the sport of professional wrestling, double shot, that are guaranteed first ballot Hall of Famers. Just like in baseball, basketball, football, any other professional sport, there are first ballot Hall of Famers. And in my humble opinion, because of the way that he helped carry the Worldwide Wrestling Federation and the World Wrestling Federation pre-Hogan days, yes, Bob Backlund should be guaranteed first ballot Hall of Famer. Now, if he's officially, since he's made the statement that he's going to hang up the idea of that one more good run, at least in the WWE, then I think that they've done a great thing by finally going ahead and saying, well, tell you what, you're hanging him up, we'll go ahead and bring you right on in. And I think that's cool as hell. Because Backlund, and I watched the replay that somebody posted on YouTube of a Backlund Harley race match. You had the weirdest conflict of styles working in there and the ultra contrast in play between the two. And Race was a great world champion. Backlund was a great World Wrestling Federation champion. And there is a difference between the two that I think pretty much goes without saying. And if anybody wants to chime in on that one, you're more than welcome to. But I think as it goes, considering that he had that all-American boy look, he had the howdy doody thing going for him, and he was what Vince McMahon Sr. wanted at the time to be his champion. Now, whether or not he was supposed to be the counteraction and the more legitimized version of what San Martino was during his extended title reigns, I don't know, and I'm not here to stir that one up. But Backlund did bring 2 AAU Wrestling National Championships to the table. So from that vantage point, it's very much a solid idea to me that Backlund was, a little bit, it's kind of like giving the belt to Kurt Angle immediately after giving it to the Ultimate Warrior. Yeah, there's a reason why. Think about it.
What are you talking about?
No.
You have smoked. Give me some of that stuff. You got some of the RVD stuff, man. You holding out on me, Eddie?
That'd be Puff Puff Pass,
baby. On me?
It's not PPG.
No, that's a horrible comparison, sir. It's a horrible comparison, in my opinion. Just my opinion, though.
Well, no. Explain why. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, Kurt Angle made a great transition. Kurt Angle has something that Bob Backlund unfortunately never got or never showed until he did his crazy gimmick, and that was charisma. Backlund had no charisma. He was white bread. He went out there and did his matches, got out, raised his hands, and left. That was it. Bruno Sammartino was not the Ultimate Warrior. Bruno Sammartino was a Hulk Hogan type. I mean, he was a guy that everybody got behind, and with all the ethnicity in the Northeast, I mean, he had these groups of people. That was their hero. Sammartino was their hero. I mean, you had the ghettos, you had the poorest of the poor that would save up, and this has been very well documented, saving up all their money just to go see Bruno, just to go see their hero. I don't remember anybody saying that about Backlund. The Ultimate Warrior, oh, Lord have mercy on my soul. The man didn't respect the business. The man was a bodybuilder, and that is, Luger. Luger would be the closest thing to ever compare an Ultimate Warrior to anybody. And you guys know, as we've talked, I've worked a show with Luger, and doesn't look good for him.
Well, let's tell you what, we're going to go ahead and take that bottom of the hour break. This may be a little bit of an extended one. We've got some situations in play on this side of the control panel, and we will be back right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network right after this.
This is the seven-figure deal, Ace Rockwell. And as long as Wicked Nemesis isn't on the show, please listen. You're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Confessions of a Potentially Perfect Parent, brought to you by AdoptUsKids.org.
I don't know how to talk like a parent. Don't make me come back there. You see what I mean? It's pretty awful. Try it again. Don't make me come back there. Now that's pretty good. That one kind of sounded like my dad. Weird.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to put up with you. Call 1-888-200-4005 or visit AdoptUsKids.org for more information. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt Us Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is Ben Masters locking it down with Beyond Ringside. Don't miss it. Be there.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Yo, what's up? This Coolio with the Flow, a.k.a. the Ghetto Gourmet, and you locked in to Beyond Ringside. Ding, ding.
Remember when your neighbor found us naked in the car, and the time some outdoor action got us kicked out of the park? Getting frisky in the dark, I gave your eye a poke. I think the dog is also in the bed. Do I smell smoke, you and me? We never, ever, ever give up.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Visit bedsider.org to compare all the choices. Brought to you by Bedsider and the Ad Council. Bedsider.org.
Hello, everybody. This is Dirty Dutch Mantel, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
Did you know that birthday parties help build confidence in kids?
Yeah. Did you know that giving kids less sugar before bedtime helps them sleep better?
Oh, totally. Did you know that friendly kids have more friends?
Everybody knows that.
Hey, guys, did you know that most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
I didn't know that.
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right car seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Everybody out there, this is the human hand grenade, Danny Only. One half of the hate junkies. 1/5 of POD. And you are locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Packers.
Vikings.
We come from different places.
Uptown. Downtown.
We come to different conclusions.
Half empty. Half full.
But when we live united, we make a real difference in the building blocks of life. Children succeed in school, families gain financial stability, the health of our neighbors improves, and suddenly so do our communities. Real change won't happen without you.
Live united.
So give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Sign up today at liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
This is El Professor from the Santa Clara Colony in Mexico. And you are locked in to Beyond Ringside, yes.
Okay, forest animals, kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow, have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. River, how's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man.
I love it. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. Okay. Squirrel.
The forest has been preparing just for you. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
This is Gabe Sapolsky from Dragon Gate USA and Evolve Pro Wrestling, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
In 50 feet, turn left. Why are you driving so slowly?
After a few drinks, I'm taking it slow.
Well, you're not fooling the cop behind you.
What?
Get ready to pay in 0.1 miles.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is Hector Camacho Jr., and you are locked in with Beyond Ringside. History is on.
Today, you hit the snooze bar. You checked your email. You checked your fantasy football team. You rejected an insulting trade offer. You ate your lunch. You did all the things that one normally does the day before a 175-mile-per-hour hurricane blows through your city, leaving it in a state of ruin. You never know when the day before is the day before. Prepare for tomorrow at ready.gov/today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Howard C. Cross, the Legal Eagle, and you're listening to Beyond Ringside.
Hey, Billy, want to go to the state fair?
Yeah!
Well, you can't.
Huh?
Well, you see, Billy, when you throw away money on wasted electricity, you throw away everything you could have done with it. But now your parents are becoming energy efficient. They could save hundreds of dollars a year and take you to the fair next year.
I want to go now.
Oh, I know you do. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
Hi, everybody. This is Jerry the King Lawler. That's right, the host of the #1 rated show in all of cable television, Monday Night Raw. That's right, Jerry the King Lawler, WWE Hall of Famer, Jerry the King Lawler, and I am locked into Beyond Ringside.
Welcome to today's lottery drawing. And today's winning numbers are not yours, not yours, and another number that's not yours. And the final number is not yours.
When it comes to having money, don't rely on luck. Brew your own coffee at home instead of buying that latte. Brown bag it to work instead of ordering it. Go to feedthepig.org for more free ideas on how to save. feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
This is Kevin Kleinrock, WSX, XPW, and now Viva La Lucha, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
This year, firefighters like Fire Chief James Hall will battle wildfires around the country in hopes of containing them. But firefighters can't do it alone.
A single ember that escapes from a wildfire can travel more than a mile, where it can ignite and destroy your home and community.
Get fire adapted. Learn simple steps you can take now to reduce wildfire damage later at fireadapted.org. A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council. Learn more at fireadapted.org.
Can you tell if these vegetables are being contaminated with bacteria that could cause paralysis? Listen, you can't see it either, Use different cutting boards so that the bacteria in raw meats and seafood and their juices doesn't touch prep surfaces for other foods like veggies. Raw food may contain bacteria that can make you very sick, or worse. Roughly 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year, but you can keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov. Brought to you by the USDA, HHS.
Hey, this is Fred Core Weaver. You listen to Beyond Ringside.
Are ye plagued by foreclosure? Well, here at Jim Ladd and Matey, we can stop your foreclosure now. We're a mortgage rescue company, and for the small fee of everything you hold dear, we will negotiate with your lender on your behalf. Call Jim Ladd and Matey at 1-800-YAR-YAR. That's 1-800-YAR-YAR-R.
If you're facing foreclosure, talk to the right people. Speak with HUD-approved housing counselors free of charge at 888-995-HOPE. Brought to you by NeighborWorks America and the Ad Council.
This is your boy, Miggity Miggity Mabo, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Drop School Day students community. High 7 the classroom, 1,000 America attendance. Quit variety they have reasons. Job like to get. Baby raiser. Relative help an elderly. Happening local on it's a level. Catastrophe, it's a national.
7,000 high school students drop out every school day. It doesn't make sense to us either. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
Welcome to the original rock and wrestling radio show. Welcome to Beyond Ringside, your source for wrestling, MMA, and boxing in the Southeast. To contact the Ringside Roundtable of Beyond Ringside, email them at beyondringside@gmail.com. And now, your host for Beyond Ringside, the man, no myth, all legend, Fast Eddie Lay.
The music plays, the microphones go hot, and welcome back into the program live on a Sunday night. 23 before the top of the hour. Let's get right back into it. Welcoming back in tag team partners Mark Mabo Bowman.
Institute of Technology for Lizards, being the best lizard you can be.
Welcoming back in the Wicked Nemesis.
It's about that time.
Welcoming back in Matt Denton.
And that's why you never trust a Mabo.
Amen. You got that, Bowman. Your UK counterpart has spoken. And speaking of, adding an international flavor to the show. Ladies and gentlemen, we promise we deliver, and we're very fortunate to have this individual on. Very special guest at this time, Ecuador's greatest export, Juan Francisco de Coronado. Welcome to Beyond Ringside. Glad to have you on board tonight.
Yes, likewise. It's a pleasure to be on here.
Now, if I may, we've heard a lot of great things coming down the grapevine over the last few weeks in particular, but for those who have not had a chance to find out about Ecuador's greatest export, can you let us know a little bit about yourself and where, basically how you got started in pro wrestling?
Of course. Well, first off, for those of you that have been living under a rock and don't know about me, you need to open your eyes, maybe go on YouTube, look me up, and find out this is one of the fastest rising superstars that we have on the independent circuit. That's first and foremost. Me personally, I got started out in Allentown, Pennsylvania. I trained with the Wild Samoans that are famously known for sending guys like Gene Snitsky or Batista over to the WWE. And I lived in Allentown at the time, and I figured why not shoot on over there? It would make perfect sense. So I trained with them for about a year. Gradually, I, kept seeking bigger and better things and wanted to keep on progressing in my independent career. So I freelanced for a while. Eventually, finding my way around, training with guys like Matt Hardy or Fit Finley and even MVP. And I've been very privileged to train with a bunch of well-known names in the professional wrestling industry. And currently I am even training with Mike Quackenbush, so that's a good opportunity for me. Always looking to get better. So that's where I'm at right now as far as my training perspective of what I've been.
Mark Bowman, come on in.
Now, you said you trained at the Wild Samoan School. What was it like training with Hall of Famers the caliber of the Wild Samoans, and how did you gel with their style of training? Oh, it was I was very I was starstruck at first, you know. Like I was young. I was 17 going on 18 going in there, and you know, it was very surreal to me to see you know, Asa the Wild Samoan there, and just like listening to all he had to say. It was very eye-opening for me. You know, it's like you don't realize how much goes on behind the scenes until you're actually there. But I felt like I gelled real well. You know, I went in there and I wanted to do this since I was like 10 years old, when my parents would actually let me watch wrestling on television before, you know, they didn't think it was too violent when I was really young. So, yeah, you know, I went in there, you know, positive and wanted to work hard for my spot, and I felt like I went really well. I got along with a bunch of people there, and you know, not to say that the training wasn't hard, but you know, I felt like I went through and I gave it my all, and I did really well, I thought.
Wicked Nemesis, come on board.
Why did you become a professional wrestler? I mean, why was that? Did you want to entertain? Did you want to beat people up? I mean, good sir.
Well, I have two older brothers actually.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is where it started pretty much. We always beat each other up. We always found some reason to be fighting over something, and you know, it's my older brother too. He's also on the independent. One of them is on the independent circuit wrestler as well. We started watching when I was around 10. Like I had mentioned earlier, my parents never really wanted us watching it when we were younger. Thought it was much too violent. Even then, at 10 years old, they still didn't want us doing it. But you know, they can't watch us all the time, so we found a way to watch around it. And from there, I mean, it captured us right away. And every time the commercial break came on, we'd put our mattresses together and we'd start throwing stuff at each other and beating each other up, trying to emulate the best way we could what we saw on television. So that's really where it started for us. And from there, you know, we just grew older. And when I finally moved into Allentown, I saw my opportunity to train with the Wild Samoans, and went from there.
Now, if I may, you mentioned with the people that you mentioned as far as influences and training, that is a wide spectrum to work with. Now, a lot of people want to put emphasis on a particular style point, skill set, move set. If you genuinely were to try to sum up your style, the style of Juan Francisco de Coronado, what would that be?
Well, a lot of people when they see somebody, they automatically like to judge, well, this guy is probably better as a high flyer or a brawler or a mat technician. I'm not the biggest guy that you'll see. I'm about 5'5", 5'6", and about 160 pounds. I'm not that big, and as far as, you know, most of the wrestlers in this business were, you know, 6 foot, 200 plus pounds. So right away I'm going to get looked at and maybe think I'm a high flyer, but believe it or not, even though I have trained with many styles that do, you know, some high flying, and not to say that I can't, but it's not exactly my forte. It's not something I want to base my whole, you would say, move set around. I like to keep my feet on the ground. I'm more of a little bit of I like to keep it to a mat technician, if it were. Like I said, I have trained with guys like Fit Finley who have really, you know, were able to put me down and show me how to really hold someone down if I needed to. Being the smaller guy, I feel like that's also something that's good to know. Like, if a bigger guy were to come at me, I can at least hold my own. But you know, once in a while you'll see me jump off the top rope and you know, create some noise. So it's I'm very well rounded, but if I had to pick one, I would definitely say in the mat technician area.
Mabo, come on back.
How exactly did you come about your manservant Herbert?
Herbert. Yes, he's very good at what he does. He's there to do anything I ask. I mean, when I say anything, I mean anything. Like, if I need a bottle of water and at a drop of a hat, he'll go up and get it. And you know, he's there for me. He'll wipe down the ropes for me. He'll clean off the steps for me. I met him a few years back. He was on the independent circuit himself, but I've cleaned him up since then, and he's now following me around because he knows a good way to be. It's a good person to be around, and he has no complaints.
Well, no, I mean, you said you cleaned him up and everything, but I mean, he is your manservant. Other than, polishing him up, is there any other way you compensate him? I mean, do you pay the poor guy?
That's on a need-to-know basis right now, and right now Herbert is very happy with his position in the Coronado Enterprises, as I like to call it. And his position, as long as he continues to behave in the fashion he has, he has no problem with what he gets.
Wicked Nemesis.
Good sir. Have your brother and you ever tagged up? I mean, you said you had an older brother in this great sport of professional wrestling, sir. I mean, and if you have, isn't that cheating somewhat?
Cheating if me and my brother team up?
Yeah, I said, have you ever? And if you have, wouldn't the other guys go, hey, come on? Because every brother tag team tandem I've ever seen, oh, Lord have mercy, they just know each other so well, and I'm sure you are on that same page, sir.
Yeah. We definitely did team up in Jersey a few times. We had gone to a couple of promotions out there, and, we were actually quite the fan favorites out there. We had a very fast-paced style, and like you mentioned earlier, we know each other so well. We know what exactly the other is thinking, so it's very easy to just hit it off right away, and we give each other that look, like, all right, this is what we got next. And we were pretty successful. We made it to a finals in some tag team tournament out there, and we enjoyed it, but it wasn't something that we were both looking to get into as far as like staying as a tag team for our career. He has his specialties, I have mine. So after I'd say about a 6-month run, we gave it a break and we're back to our own thing now.
Does your brother have a manservant too, sir? That would be awesome.
No, he wouldn't be so fortunate. No, I'm the better of the two, so I need a manservant to take care of my light work.
Now, if I may, your strong affiliation with a company called Wrestling is Fun, located at wrestlingisfun.org. And for those who have not had a chance to find out about WIF, they have got an incredible lineup. Now, for those who are fans of Chikara and a number of the styles of professional wrestling that are similar to Chikara, you're going to recognize a number of the names that are involved in Wrestling is Fun. There is one that I want to ask you about. I was going to do this off air, but I'm going to go ahead and pop it right now because you've got a tremendous lineup over there. But there is one that I want to find out a little bit more about before we move directly over into February the 2nd, and that would be Thunder Frog.
Yes, Thunder Frog. He's quite the popular one. He's grown in his very, very short time that he's jumped onto the scene at Wrestling is Fun. He's a very unique character. I haven't been able to actually sit down and watch him, although I probably should, seeing as he's, like I said earlier, a rising star in the Wrestling is Fun roster. I may have to cross paths with him soon. But what little I did see of him, I know the fans love him. I know as far as an internet sensation, he is, whenever he's on the stream, I know it's like Twitter's blowing up on his favor, and you've got people, with the Facebook thing, and it's just like, it's amazing that a character of his stature is well known in a short amount of time. And I personally, I enjoy it, but I personally wouldn't enjoy getting in the ring with him. He seems like a very, he's a frog. I wouldn't particularly be all about grappling with a frog, and I feel like he's a very different style of competitiveness, and I'm not sure I'd be able to get in with all that.
Bowman, this one's for you. Folks, you're listening to Beyond Ringside live on a Sunday night. The anniversary show continues. Fast Eddie Lane, Mark Mabo Bowman, Wicked Nemesis, Matt Denton, being joined, international flair on this interview, by Ecuador's greatest export, Juan Francisco de Coronado, live on Beyond Ringside on this Sunday night. Now, I do have to ask, because I'm not personally that familiar with it, explain to everybody what the Banana title is in WIF.
The Banana Championship. That is our version of any promotions, let's say, the number one championship. It's the heavyweight championship. It's the grand championship. It would be the highest title that you can hold in the company of Wrestling is Fun. When you have the banana, you have the power, you have the prestige, you have the potassium. With the banana, you're on the top of the food chain, no pun intended. And everyone in the locker room wants the banana. And I can picture all your faces now looking at each other like, what is this guy talking? He's talking about a banana. Who cares about a banana? But I care about a banana. And right now the current holder is Mr. Touchdown, who is a good friend of mine. You know, it would be a shame for me to have to smack him around and take it from him. But in due time, I can promise you, Juan Francisco de Coronado will be the prestigious holder of one banana championship for Wrestling is Fun.
Mabo, come on in.
Now, Juan, Mr. De Coronado, if you will, coming up on February 2nd, probably what I would term the biggest wrestling event ever. I mean, you know, you have your WrestleManias, and then that's all well and good. You know, as tonight there's the Royal Rumble from WWE. That's all well and good. But National Pro Wrestling Day is coming up February 2nd, where a myriad of companies are coming together under one banner for one night only to put on a phenomenal wrestling show. And it's all free for the fans. It's all free for the fans, and they damn well better appreciate it. But you, sir, will be representing Wrestling is Fun, and on that night, you will be taking on the intergalactic luchador from Chikara, Saturnine. What do you got to say?
Saturnine is another one of those stars that have only been around for about a year, I believe now, and she's made quite the name for herself. She is talented in her ability to work in the ring, and I'll never take that from her. However, I am just that much better. And like you said, National Pro Wrestling Day is a huge event. I mean, they're expecting over 1,000 people to show up. Of course, it's free. You'd be dumb to miss this one if you're a wrestling fan, you know?
Amen.
It's out in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and it's like you said earlier. It's like 20 plus promotions coming together that include promotions such as Ring of Honor, Evolve, Wrestling is Fun, a bunch of the other Wrestling Is networks that we were talking about earlier, and it's a great opportunity for all these promotions really to get some spotlight, and even a greater opportunity for the fans to see other promotions, and they can broaden their horizons as far as what they choose to watch in their wrestling networks. And these are companies that are all over the coasts right now. Ring of Honor travels a lot, you know. Wrestling is Fun over here on the East Coast, and you know, it's just a great event for everybody included. I mean, from the wrestlers in the locker room to the fans in the seats to the janitors cleaning the bathrooms. I mean, it's a great opportunity for everyone. This is huge. As for me, it will probably be the biggest, if not the second biggest, to what I've ever sold out as far as competing in front of. Number one being the Equidome, and back home in Ecuador. But as far as National Pro Wrestling Day goes, Saturnine is just another victim on my list because I am undefeated, and we will go on record in saying that I will continue my undefeated streak. Juan Francisco de Coronado was leaving National Pro Wrestling Day a victor.
I would like to extend the invitation for you to come back and join us again somewhere down the road. We would love to have you come back on. Is that cool?
Absolutely.
Folks, you can find out more about Wrestling is Fun by going to their official website located at wrestlingisfun.org. Also, they are available over on Twitter at wrestling_is_fun. They also have a Facebook fan page available. From that vantage point, Mr. Del Coronado, how can people track you down on this wonderful thing called the World Wide Web?
Yes, the World Wide Web is a wonderful thing. It should be called Wonderful World Wide Web now. You can find me on Twitter at JuanFDCoronado using the hashtag JFDC. Make sure you use that all the time. This guy needs to be trending worldwide. And you can also find me on Facebook. It's a long link, but if you just type in my name on the search bar, you can get it, Juan Francisco de Coronado. Also, for any promoters looking to get this cool guy on your cool show, you can look me up on email at juanfdcoronado@gmail.com. And for all the fans that want to come see Juan Francisco de Coronado, I'll be hitting a local venue near you, and soon enough, you'll see me on television, because that's a guarantee. It's just going to happen. This guy's talented. There's nothing you can say about that to prove me wrong.
I hate to kind of put you on the spot, but upcoming appearances, do you have, other than the National Pro Wrestling Day event coming up next Saturday, February the 2nd up in Philly, do you have any of the others directly in front of you that you can let us know about?
Yeah, right away. We have a Wrestling is Fun event on February 23rd in Allentown, Pennsylvania. We also have I will be joining Wrestling is Awesome. I believe that is March 2nd, I believe that is. That's out in, I want to say, New York. I'm going to have to double check that. I don't want to give you guys false information. But if you go to the Wrestling is Awesome website, wrestlingisawesome.com, they will tell you what the event is. And I'm branching out as we speak. Right now, National Pro Wrestling Day is on my mind. That's about a week away, 6 days away now. And that's where you want to see me right away. Guaranteed to be a 5-star performance.
Let's see, we've got a Wrestling is Fun event coming up on February the 23rd of 2013. It's going to be at the West End Youth Center, 848 North 20th Street in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Bell time 7 o'clock p.m. Wrestling is Awesome has an upcoming event on March 3rd in Rochester, New Hampshire at the Rochester American Legion Hall, 94 Eastern Avenue. Bell time 4 o'clock p.m. Doors are going to be opening at 3:30. And like I said, if you get a chance to, definitely follow him on Twitter, check him out on Facebook, and definitely check out Wrestling is Fun. If you haven't had a chance to, nationalprowrestlingday.com. And our very special guest at this time is going to be
Hold on.
Yes.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
I'll take this one, Eddie.
Yes.
And our very special guest at this time, Juan Francisco de Coronado has just gone beyond ringside.
Take us the rest of the way out, Bowman.
And we'll be back right after this.
Hey parents, pick up your kids without embarrassing them with OMGPS, a navigation system that tells you how far away you need to park when you pick them up.
Keisha at mall. Proceed to outer food court.
Thanks, OMGPS.
OMGPS is not available in stores because it doesn't exist. But that's okay. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent, because kids in foster care don't need perfection. They need you. For more information on how you can adopt, go to adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt Us Kids, and the Ad Council.
Citizens of America, this is a message from feedthepig.org. Americans spent more money than they earned in 2005. This is the first negative savings rate in the U.S. since the Great Depression. America, we must start feeding the pig. On the 1st and the 15th, we must pay ourselves before we pay anyone or anything. We must make a budget. Even consider cutting up a credit card. Log on to feedthepig.org today. Find the benefits of saving for every stage of life. Brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Where do you want to go to lunch?
I'm having a stroke.
Did you hear what I said?
I'm having a stroke.
Why aren't you answering me?
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
With video games, I always check the rating and content descriptors on the package, but there are times when I'd like more detail about what's in the game. That's why I love these new rating summaries. They provide an in-depth description of a game's content to help me decide if it's okay for my kids to play. Rating summaries are free and available on my smartphone or at home online.
For more information about video game ratings and rating summaries, go to esrb.org.
Ranger Station.
Yeah, hi. I'd like to report a bear sighting in the forest. 1 second, I'm having a smoke. Next thing I know, I'm face to face with Smokey Bear. Wow. And he told me it only takes one spark to start a wildfire.
Did you know 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans?
I had no idea.
That's why Smokey's famous and you're not. If you see someone in danger of starting a wildfire, step in and make a difference. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council. Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Dad, how do you throw a curveball? How do you build a fort? How do refrigerators run? How do fish learn how to swim?
Kids ask a lot of questions.
How high can you jump?
But you don't have to know every answer.
How many phone numbers are there?
Because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent.
How do cell phones work?
There are thousands of children in foster care who don't need every question answered.
What's electricity?
They just need you.
What's the moon made of?
For more information on how you can adopt, go to adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Welcome to Move Time Radio, presented by the Arthritis Foundation, and we're smack dab in the middle of our dance-a-thon to fight arthritis pain. Me, I've been grooving for 10 hours straight, baby, but I'm a boogie machine. See, movement is just one of the ways to help fight osteoarthritis pain. Another is weight loss. You get rid of just 1 pound. That's 4 pounds of pressure off each knee. For more information on managing pain, visit fightarthritispain.org. Then meet me on the dance floor. This message brought to you by the Arthritis Foundation and the Ad Council.
Monsters could be living under your child's bed or in the bathtub. For a child with asthma, it can seem like monsters are everywhere. Because something as innocent as a teddy bear could trigger their next asthma attack. But there are simple ways you can help, like putting stuffed animals in the freezer to kill dust mites and drying bath toys to prevent mold. Learn more at noattacks.org or call 866-NO-ATTACKS, because their next breath is in your hands. Brought to you by the EPA and the Ad Council.
The odds of becoming a signed artist and having 3 #1 albums? 1 in 100 million. The odds of going on to win 6 Grammy Awards? 1 in 1.4 million. The odds of this performer having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I'm Toni Braxton, and I encourage you to learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Autism Speaks. It's time to listen. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Amanda Pete. Like all new parents, my husband and I want what's best for our baby. When it was time for our daughter's immunizations, we wanted the facts. So we carefully researched vaccines. We spoke with doctors and other experts and asked some tough questions. We decided that vaccines were the best thing for our child. I urge you to get the facts. Learn the facts about vaccines so you can make the best healthcare decisions for your family. Thank you.
A message from the American Academy of Pediatrics and vaccinateyourbaby.org.
Remember when your neighbor found us naked in the car, and the time some outdoor action got us kicked out of the park, getting frisky in the dark. I gave your eye a poke. Think the dog is in the bed. Do I smell smoke? You and me, we never ever ever give up.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Visit bedsider.org to compare all the choices. Brought to you by Bedsider and the Ad Council. Bedsider.org.
You are a waste. A loser. Everyone hates you. Why don't you just stay in your car and keep driving? I'm serious. Drive until you run out of gas, then get out of your car and walk until you find someone who doesn't think you're dumber than bricks. Could take a while, but at least all that walking might burn a couple of calories.
You may not witness bullying like this every day. Your kids do. They want to help, but they don't know how.
Every day I wake up at 5 to give Dad his medicine. Every day I wake up at 5 to give Dad his medicine. At 6 I make his breakfast. Every day I wake up at 5 to give Dad his medicine. At 6 I make his breakfast. At 7 I shower. Every day I wake up
For those caring for a loved one, we hear you. That's why AARP created a community to help us better care for ourselves and the ones we love. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You must be
Your fairy godmother?
Cinderella's dream comes true because the glass slipper fits.
It fits!
In our world, the right fit can be just as important, especially when it comes to car seats. Always choose a car seat that's the right fit for your child's age and size to make sure your little pumpkin gets there safely every time.
Hop in, dear.
Thank you. For more information, visit safercar.gov/the right seat. This message has been brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Alright, I've gone through all the tracks, just move through the beats. Do your thing.
Alright, everyone, let's hear it for West High's own Brooke Turner, aka DJ Hook!
Scratching at my first school dance takes confidence. So we're getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
Visit knowhowtogo.org to learn what you should be doing right now to prepare for college. Start taking the steps at knowhowtogo.org. Brought to you by the American Council on Education, Lumina Foundation, and the Ad Council.
It takes 12 years to create a graduate. It takes about the same time to create a dropout. And at the end of the day, the difference between a child becoming one or the other could be you. So United Way is asking you to make a pledge. Tutor a child who needs help. Mentor a kid who needs someone on their side. Volunteer to read to children. Because when a child advances, we all advance. Be a reader, tutor or mentor. Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United. Take the pledge now at liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Hey, what's up? Holla at your boy. XOXOXO. You getting these texts? Question mark. Where are you? What are you doing? OMG, you are making me mad. You better text me back. I'm waiting outside your house.
Relentless, aggressive texting is like sending an angry robot to deliver your message. When does the robot become dangerous? Let us know at that'snotcool.com.
That'snotcool.com.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
So, Jacqueline.
Yes, Mom?
I wanted to talk to you about something and... Oh, wait. Hold on. I just got a text.
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. So many comments on my comment.
Hey, guys, check out my new video game.
Mom, what?
Huh?
Pew, pew. What'd you say?
This weekend, unplug. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Joe Perry and Steven Tyler of Aerosmith for Red. You know, it's okay to rock and roll and party down. Just don't get in that 2,000-pound bullet when you're done and cocked. And please don't drink and drive. I'm the one that jaded you.
A reminder that friends don't let friends drive drunk. A public service message brought to you by the Ad Council, U.S. Department of Transportation, National Association of Broadcasters, and RAD.
You and your family are connected by routine, and you stick to it. But what if a disaster strikes without warning? What if your day's routine is disrupted and you can't reach your family? Have you planned for that? Before a disaster turns your family's world upside down, be ready. Get a kit. Make a plan. Be informed. Learn how at www.ready.gov. Brought to you by the Federal Emergency Management Agency and the Ad Council.
This is the sound of a flat-screen television hurled off a building. Now the new bike your kid wants. These are the things you could have, all cast into oblivion. Because when you throw away money on wasted electricity, you throw away everything you could have bought with it. Use Energy Star light bulbs and appliances, and you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
Hello?
Hi, I found your name on the internet. I'm going through a foreclosure. Can you help?
Sure, it's simple. We'll just leverage your transitory expenditures into a fiduciary trust, and we massage those assets before your money goes into my private account.
I don't get it.
If you're facing foreclosure, who should you trust? The Hope Hotline is a free resource connecting you with HUD-approved housing counseling agencies, available 24 hours a day, who can give you the information and clarity you need. Call the Hope Hotline at 888-995-HOPE. That's 888-995-4673. Brought to you by NeighborWorks America and the Ad Council.
Here at the GED Pep Talk Center, we've got a pep talk that can motivate you.
Sometimes things don't always turn out the way you want them to.
You can improve your future. Now get your game face on and take the first step towards a better life. Hurry up! Don't make me repeat myself.
Whatever level of motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Call 1-877-38-YOUR-GED or visit yourged.org.
7,000 high school students drop out every school day. If you stack their desks one atop the other, it's a pile more than 17,000 feet high. That's 12 Empire State Buildings. But what's truly scary is that another stack is going up tomorrow. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
You might know me, I'm 50 Cent. You may follow my tweets, my Facebook friends. Odds are fewer than 6 degrees separate us. We're that close. What's crazy is 1 in 6 don't know where their next meal is coming from. These are your co-workers, your neighbors, your friends. Hunger's too close for us to ignore. So visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank to see how you can make a difference. From one close friend to another, let's do this. I'm 50 Cent, and together we are Feeding America.
A message from Feeding America and the Ad Council.
In the wake of a disaster, what one thing can you send that will help people the most? A blanket, a tent, a sandbag, a doctor. Actually, if you send a monetary donation, you send all these things. Even a small donation can make a big impact and can quickly become exactly what people affected by disaster need most.
Want to help those affected by Hurricane Sandy? To donate, visit sandy.adcouncil.org. That's sandy.adcouncil.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
If your walls could talk, what would they say?
I have sent children into fits of rage.
I am responsible for a child's speech impediment.
I am the reason a child can't read.
Just because you can't see lead paint doesn't mean it's not on walls, doors, windows, and sills. Today, lead paint poisoning affects over 1 million children. If your home was built before 1978, log on to leadfreekids.org or call 800-424-LEAD.
Brought to you by the Coalition to End Childhood Lead Poisoning, EPA, HUD, and the Ad Council.
You feel petrified. You're struggling with your mortgage payments, not knowing what to do. You do nothing. But if you do something, you're far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making Home Affordable is a free government program. Call 888-995-HOPE to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about your options. Call 888-995-HOPE or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
Psst, hey, I'm down here at your feet.
Wait, you're a basketball.
Yes, the basketball. The kids left me here a long time ago. Man, I miss flying through the air and hearing those shouts of joy. Could you give me a little air and remind the kids of how fun I still am?
Okay.
Great, let's get bouncing.
As Native American parents and caregivers, our encouragement to healthy lifestyles for our kids is helping them get outside and play. Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov/Indian Country. Brought to you by USDA, HHS, and the Ad Council.
This is Lisa Edelstein from House. On TV, the good doctors aren't always easy to spot, but it is easy to spot the good that Barasa Ware is doing as a local health worker in Ethiopia. Every day he helps the children of his village survive. When you help local health workers like Barasa, you're one step away from helping children survive all over the world. See where the good goes at goodgoes.org and find out all the ways you can help the good go further. Brought to you by Save the Children and the Ad Council.
Arr! We be under attack! Man the long nine! Arr! Prepare to be boarded! Flagship, starboard bow! What? No, not by the enemy flagship, by garbage! Me beautiful ocean be full of it these days. Many of folk don't know that when they throw their trash on the ground, it eventually makes its way into the ocean. So lend us a hand by always recycling and disposing of your trash properly. And learn more what you can do to keep the ocean healthy at keepoceansclean.org. Brought to you by the Keep Oceans Clean Alliance and the Ad Council.
You're so annoying.
You're so annoying.
Stop copying me.
Stop copying me.
Mom, tell her to stop copying me.
Mom, tell her to stop talking to me.
Kids will spend 10 minutes copying everything their sibling says.
You're such a
You're
doofus.
such a doofus.
How about 2 minutes to brush their teeth? Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. For fun 2-minute videos to watch while brushing, visit 2min2x.org. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Mom!
A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
Imagine me, a dog, moving in with a human. I didn't know how it would work. Turns out, my human's pretty entertaining. For instance, every time I give my human his ball, he throws it as far as he can. And I'm like, dude, that's your ball. So I go get it. But he just throws it. Again. I gotta say, though, the more he does it, the funnier it is. I love my human.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Hi, I'm Joe Perry.
And Steven Tyler from Arizona.
Set and ready to keep this ride alive.
To be determined. I've just been dealing with migraines.
See, you never know what's going to happen next around this pop stand. Welcome back into the show, keeping this thing going fast, Eddie Lane, Mark Mabo Bowman, Wicked Nemesis, Mad Dog Matt Denton, being joined by multi-time National Wrestling Alliance Women's World Champion Tasha Simone. Tosh, how you doing tonight?
I am doing absolutely fabulous. How is everybody else?
It's been crazy, and it's getting crazier by the minute. However, into everyone's life, a little sanity must fall.
Man, that was a horrible intro, Eddie. I love you, but let me give my sis one. I'm gonna pull the Mark Bowman, Mabo. Yes, I'm stealing this from you. I'm giving you credit though. The third longest reigning NWA Women's World Champion of all time in the entire history of professional wrestling, the longest running promotion in the history of the great sport of professional wrestling. Rena Del Piledriver herself, my co-host along with Fast Eddie Lane and Mad Dog Matt Denton. You know her as Queen. She is Tasha Simone, or American Woman, or Mama, as some people call her, or as I call her Sis, and as Matt calls her. Boop.
Yeah, really.
We've missed you. We have missed you on the To Be Determined show. I know, kind of stealing your thunder, but Beyond Ringside fans know you. We told everybody you were on assignment because you need vacation, and also I know you've been scoping out some of your opponents or lack thereof.
Lack thereof, more like it.
Mm-hmm. I know. Yes. No. But I will say something. You and I had a conversation on this very radio show about one Taylor Hendricks, and I want to tell you, I kind of told you this off air. You and I were very hard on Taylor because of something that happened, how unprofessional something was. Last night she wrestled at GCW. Great night of professional wrestling at GCW in Pell City last night. She was very respectful, and I will tell you this right now. She has listened to somebody.
Yep.
And her head is on straight, and she had a great match. I never thought I would say that. She had a great match, and Lord have mercy, she looked good. I didn't want to admit that, but Lord.
Damn.
Well, good. I'm always glad to hear that a few wise words will sink into the young children.
You would be very happy to see it. It was not a wrestling match. It was a sports entertainment / wrestling match, but it was very entertaining. The fans got their money's worth, and I mean, what more could you ask for, ma'am? She's not you.
Thank God there's only one me in this world.
Especially when you start going through migraine attacks, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Or Wicked Nemesis promos.
What? I would like to have what?
Hey.
Now,
in all sincerity. Now, in all sincerity, Tasha, there is a very special reason why you're getting in touch with us this evening, and if you would please let everybody know exactly what that is.
Well, actually, there is. Everybody knows the mean, hard-ass Tasha. Everybody knows that I really don't show much of a heart very often.
Especially to your opponents in the ring.
I just want to tell everybody, I actually contacted Eddie earlier today. Did not expect him to have me on the air. I simply asked him to start talking about a very special little girl who is actually very close to one of the wrestlers here in the Nashville area, Jason Nesmith. This little girl's name is Aurora. The special thing about Aurora is that 5 months ago she was diagnosed with ALL-type leukemia. She went into remission for a very short time, but as many people know, leukemia, any type of cancer, but leukemia specifically because it attacks the blood cells, is very unforgiving. And when it hit her the second time, it hit her very hard. This young lady has had every possible type of treatment that you can imagine. Radiation, chemotherapy, she's even already been through bone marrow transplant.
Ouch.
Now, I also want everyone to know, as I'm saying this, every picture that I've seen of this child, she still has a smile on her face. I have some of the pictures posted on my Facebook page. I have some of them posted on my website because I have dedicated a page to her and her fight on my website, TashaSimone.com. She does not have a picture where she is not smiling. There are a couple of pictures that I could not post because people can be very ignorant, but there are pictures of the baby when she first got hit with the disease where you can literally see every bone in her body. Her mom is such a wonderful mommy that she has, because Aurora, of course, lost her hair and it's just starting to grow back out. Her mommy cut all of her hair so that they could match. Now, what has happened is, because Aurora is in the hospital so much, her mom has had to take leave from work. She still has a job, however, this leave is unpaid. People have helped as much as they can, but as we all know, life takes over. We still have bills, and medical bills don't go away. They grow. So Jason Nesmith has put together a benefit here in the Nashville area, Millersville, Tennessee, Sawmill, on February 24th. He is calling it for Fighting for Aurora. The doors open at 4 o'clock. Bell time will be 5 o'clock. The address is 1214B Louisville Highway, Millersville, Tennessee. But this is the real reason that I called Eddie and said, hey, can you talk about this? We have some really wonderful wrestling fans around the world. And I know that they like to help out with issues like this. And, of course, not everybody's in Nashville, so not everybody can be at the benefit. But there's something that all of our fans can do. They have a PayPal account set up. It is leukemia.ninja@gmail.com to get to the PayPal account. You can make a donation of any size. Any little bit is going to help this beautiful little girl and her mom. Here's the really cool deal that people need to understand. Myself and Tiffany Rocks have already said for every confirmation of a donation sent to our email addresses, we will be sending out autographed pictures. And Tiffany is not even a part of this benefit, but she is a mom. I have challenged other lady wrestlers to do the same. Miss Rachel, who is a part of the benefit, has also stepped up because she sells downloaded wrestling matches. For every confirmation she receives, she will be giving one free match download. Now, I know that we all have issues in our lives. We all have problems. This is a 7-year-old little girl. So, if the wrestling fans could step up a little bit, just a little, $1 or $2, just whatever. If you can't make it to the benefit, please, please help as much as you can. Go to that PayPal account. Remember, it's leukemia.ninja.com. This isn't Tasha the wrestler talking. This is Tasha the mom.
Now, the event is going to take place what day again?
February 24th.
And that's in Nashville. That's going to be in Nashville under which banner?
It will be at Millersville at the Sawmill, as everybody knows it. The address, again, if everybody did not catch it, the address is 1214B Louisville Highway. Sorry, I got a little teared up. I was sitting here looking at pictures of Aurora when I was talking. Like I said, this little girl is incredible. She's going through so much, still has a smile on her face no matter what.
What the hell are you doing apologizing for? Don't apologize. I'm sitting here trying not to cry. I think anybody, any human being. I mean, come on. Mabel doesn't have kids. Matt doesn't have kids. But I mean, they know. I mean, it's one thing. It's one thing to go one-on-one with somebody that you can fight. Somebody maybe that's bigger than you. Another thing is for children. I mean, you guys know how I felt about the Sandy Hook and tragedy. Yeah. Those are babies. I've
got to be honest.
Yes, ma'am.
The scientists in this country kind of piss me off. They can come up with all of these chemicals to kill somebody, chemical warfare. They can come up with all of these weapons to go fight wars in other countries that we don't even have a part of, but they can't use all of that research to find a cure to save kids suffering from diseases like this. It's ridiculous.
Because there's not enough money in that. The money is in having kids suffering and have these parents paid out and have their insurance skyrocket and have it to where they can just manipulate anybody they can, and they make more money making bombs go and bombing sometimes civilians, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, don't get me on the subject. That's why
you've already gotten started on the subject.
Exactly.
Now,
and I do want to tell everybody, I do have a partial card. There are some names that I know for the Alabama wrestling fans. There's names on here that you are definitely going to recognize. Of course, I know everybody knows me. A lot of people in Alabama are starting to learn who Eric the Dragon Andrews is. The main event of the evening has a definite huge name in the Alabama territory. Jason Nesmith himself will be wrestling Christian Haim.
Nice.
That is the main event. The semi-main event is Eric Andrews versus Chase Stevens.
Now wait a minute. You said that's February the 24th. That's going to be a Sunday night show, right?
It is a Sunday. That is correct.
You just got my attention.
That is correct. Hey, you could always do a live broadcast of Beyond Ringside right there.
You just got my attention because the 23rd I have a booking. 24th, we might be able to get in touch with Jason, find out about the net capacity up there at the venue. If they have a strong enough web connection, I tell you what, if I can find, as God is my...
I don't have to get in touch with Jason. This is where we do the Saw TV taping every Friday night.
Well, here's the thing.
You tell me what you need to know, and I'll find out from Carl.
Okay, I will bring the whole damn studio. I'll bring all the way through Monitor 4. If they have a strong enough connection, and here's the kicker, and this is a personal note, if I can find somebody who can cover for me at my morning obligation at Lakeview Methodist, that being done, I will make every move possible, whether it's me or as many of the team that is able to make the road trip. We'll find a way to come up there, and we'll do everything we can to do a live episode from up there in Nashville. Bucket list item just got knocked.
That would be wonderful. That would be absolutely wonderful. And I do want to brag a little bit, too. Everybody knows what Crossfire is, what's going on here in Nashville with that. They know that they benefit the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Big Bubba Perry, who used to wrestle as Sunny Street, is a very key factor in doing a lot of this for Make-A-Wish. He also has the Big Bubba Softball Bash every year for Make-A-Wish. He's been doing it, I believe this is his 13th year, and yes, he is crazy enough to put a softball bat in Tasha Simone's hand. But he is actually going to be the guest referee for, I know, my match and Eric Andrews' match on this card. And when Bubba says he's going to put butts in seats to help a little girl, Bubba's going to put butts in seats. But I want the fans that are listening, and even the wrestlers, people forget that we're human too. They see us being mean in the ring, or they see us getting our butts kicked in the ring, and they forget that we actually have a family life too. I challenge everybody, even if it's just $1, if you cannot make the benefit, please make a donation. This is not a family who lives off of welfare. This is a working single mom with a very beautiful little girl. They're not asking anybody to pay their bills. These are actually people who need help, and they're trying to do this the right way. But as I said, these medical bills are not going to go away. They're going to grow. And there's no way to get around life bills. We always have rent. We always have utility bills. They're there. What is it going to hurt any of us to help? Just a little bit. And I'm going to brag, because at about 10:30, 11 o'clock last night, I was sent an inbox from Jason, who is putting on this show. He sent me an inbox of a screen capture of the very first donation. And as a wrestler, it made me so proud that the note attached to it said, "I'm doing my part. I heard about you from Miss Tasha Simone." Because that tells me my fans have a heart too.
The date for the show is going to be Sunday, February the 24th at the Sawmill up in Nashville, Tennessee. But remember, if you would like to make a donation via PayPal, it is leukemia.ninja over, give me the email address one more time.
leukemia.ninja@gmail.com. If they don't remember it, if they go to my website, which is real easy to remember, tashasimone.com, there is a page dedicated to Aurora. It is going to stay up even after the benefit so that I can give updates for people who are interested. I will be giving updates to her condition and posting pictures and such. The page on my website is simply Fighting for Aurora. There are 2 pictures at the top, and if you click either picture, it's a direct link to that email address.
We're going to keep everybody posted. We're going to keep everybody in the loop, and we're going to set up interviews with people who are going to be on the show in the upcoming days. So bear with us on this one. We're going to set this right up, and we're going to make this work. Folks, all help will be greatly appreciated. Tasha, thank you for taking the time to come on. Now, real quick, upcoming appearances for Tasha Simone will be?
Upcoming appearances every Friday night at the Sawmill, same address, 1214 Louisville Highway B, Millersville, Tennessee, for the live Saw TV taping, which airs every Sunday night right here in Nashville. For everybody who has Comcast, it's Channel 18. For those who don't have Comcast, it's CW58. February the 9th is a very important day for NWA Top Rope because the NWA World Champion will be making his appearance there as Cahagas defends his title against my partner in crime, the one, the only, Eric the Dragon Andrews. So a lot of big things coming up, and of course February 24th, very close to my heart. If anybody's in the Nashville area, please come out. Doors open at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Bell time is 5 o'clock. This is definitely going to be one hell of a wrestling card. Let's let this little girl keep a smile on her face.
Don't forget, you can also find Tasha every Wednesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, on the To Be Determined show right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. Tosh, always a pleasure. Thank you for coming on to share this with us. Folks, we're going to be back in just a minute. Hang tight.
7,000 high school students drop out every school day. If you stack their desks one atop the other, it's a pile more than 17,000 feet high. That's 12 Empire State Buildings. But what's truly scary is that another stack is going up tomorrow. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
You might know me, I'm 50 Cent. You may follow my tweets, my Facebook friends. Odds are a few in 6 degrees separate us. We're that close. What's crazy is 1 in 6 don't know where their next meal is coming from. These are your co-workers, your neighbors, your friends. Hunger's too close for us to ignore. So visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank to see how you can make a difference. From one close friend to another, let's do this. I'm 50 Cent, and together we are Feeding America.
A message from Feeding America and the Ad Council.
In the wake of a disaster, what one thing can you send that will help people the most? A blanket, a tent, a sandbag, a doctor. Actually, if you send a monetary donation, you send all these things. Even a small donation can make a big impact and can quickly become exactly what people affected by disaster need most.
Want to help those affected by Hurricane Sandy? To donate, visit sandy.adcouncil.org. That's sandy.adcouncil.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
If your walls could talk, what would they say?
I have sent children into fits of rage.
I am responsible for a child's speech impediment.
I am the reason a child can't read.
Just because you can't see lead paint doesn't mean it's not on walls, doors, windows, and sills. Today, lead paint poisoning affects over 1 million children. If your home was built before 1978, log on to leadfreekids.org or call 800-424-LEAD.
Brought to you by the Coalition to End Childhood Lead Poisoning, EPA, HUD, and the Ad Council.
You feel petrified. You're struggling with your mortgage payments, not knowing what to do. You do nothing. But if you do something, you're far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making Home Affordable is a free government program. Call 888-995-HOPE to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about your options. Call 888-995-HOPE or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
Psst, hey, I'm down here at your feet.
Wait, you're a basketball.
Yes, the basketball. The kids left me here a long time ago. Man, I miss flying through the air and hearing those shouts of joy. Could you give me a little air and remind the kids of how fun I still am?
Okay.
Great, let's get bouncing.
As Native American parents and caregivers, our encouragement to healthy lifestyles for our kids is helping them get outside and play. Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov/Indian Country. Brought to you by USDA, HHS, and the Ad Council.
This is Lisa Edelstein from House. On TV, the good doctors aren't always easy to spot, but it is easy to spot the good that Barasa Ware is doing as a local health worker in Ethiopia. Every day he helps the children of his village survive. When you help local health workers like Barasa, you're one step away from helping children survive all over the world. See where the good goes at goodgoes.org and find out all the ways you can help the good go further. Brought to you by Save the Children and the Ad Council.
Arr! We be under attack! Man the long nine! Arr! Prepare to be boarded! Flagship starboard bow! What? No, not by the enemy flagship, by garbage! Me beautiful ocean be full of it these days. Many of folk don't know that when they throw their trash on the ground, it eventually makes its way into the ocean. So lend us a hand by always recycling and disposing of your trash properly. And learn more what you can do to keep the ocean healthy at keepoceansclean.org. Brought to you by the Keep Oceans Clean Alliance and the Ad Council.
You're so annoying.
You're so annoying.
Stop copying me.
Stop copying me.
Mom, tell her to stop copying me.
Mom, tell her to stop talking.
It has been a whirlwind. It has been a maelstrom. It has been a cyclone. It's been absolutely freaking nuts. And you know something? Welcome to Beyond Ringside. We wouldn't have it any other way. Fast Eddie Lane behind the control panel. Welcoming back in Mark Mabo Bowman.
Look, I don't want to pop the surprise just yet, but I told you I would get this gentleman back on, and I did.
Wicked Nemesis, come on back.
Oh, I know. Mabo, thank you once again. This is a pleasure to have this gentleman on. Oh, yes, always great fan.
Mad Dog Matt Denton, come on back.
Now, this is why you do trust a Mabo.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had the honor and the privilege of having this gentleman on one time before. We get to have him back, and it's great. Now, representing two companies in this particular regard, ladies and gentlemen, Chikara fans, you know him as Gavin Loudspeaker. Kaiju Big Battle fans, you know him as Loud and Noxious. Welcome back to Beyond Ringside.
Hey, what's going on, my bow? And Beyond Ringside, how's everybody doing?
Dude, it's been crazy around here. We're celebrating our anniversary show.
This is your anniversary show?
Yes, it is, as a matter of fact.
And you chose me?
Yes.
Wow. I'm honored.
Everything works out for the best because you are a part of a major event coming up in less than 1 week from today. And when we had the opportunity, Mabo and I were talking a little bit behind the scenes. Wicked came into the conversation, and it's like, we got to get in touch. Kaiju Big Battle's being represented at National Pro Wrestling Day. Chikara's being represented at National Pro Wrestling Day. And the man with a microphone is a great choice. And therefore, of course, the invitation was there. And we thank you for taking us up on it.
Well, I'm proud. I'm actually very proud to be the voice of a National Pro Wrestling Day. And I'm very excited to bring everyone the very first one ever. This is going to be our first annual. Hopefully this is going to be a national pastime that lasts generations.
Tell you what, let's go around the horn. Mark Mabo Bowman, come on in.
Wow. Sorry, I always get a little, because it's Loudon Gavin Noxious Speaker. I don't really know what to say.
You can just call me the Loud One.
Okay, the Loud One. We have the Loud One on with us. We've had him on before. I want to save Kaiju for Wicked, because Wicked is a ridiculously huge Kaiju fan. So I'm going to hit you with a little bit of National Pro Wrestling Day, since you're the ring, you're going to be the man on the mic and everything. What is up with all of the wrestling is ... You've got wrestling is awesome, wrestling is fun, wrestling is heart, wrestling is respect, wrestling is art. Are they all like in bed together? What's the deal?
Well, okay. Well, the deal with what the wrestling is that they are a network of wrestling promotions that have joined together in this great country of ours. With the goal of bringing multiple different styles of wrestling to the wrestling audience, and they each one has its own flavor, each one has its own cast of characters, and they've all kind of got their own thing, and they are. It is a network, so it is loosely connected. But however, I think as we move on and we learn more about these different promotions, we're going to see that they each have their own definite identity as well.
Wicked Nemesis, come on in.
Wicked Nemesis.
Wicked.
Sorry about that.
Come on.
Sorry about that. Are you actually going to be ringside for these two great battles that are to partake on the National Wrestling Day, which, by the way, is one of the greatest ideas ever? Should be a national holiday.
Yes, it should.
I don't know why it wasn't started a long time ago.
Because you weren't around? Guys like us weren't around?
Maybe. You're right. I've only been around for 20 so years.
Matt Denton, come on board.
I got nothing to say, to be honest with you. I'm just sitting here in awe of the loud one.
Now, you've got a lot going on, and I thought Wicked was going to take point on the Kaiju side, but I know that in addition to National Pro Wrestling Day, Chikara Pro Wrestling has got some great events coming up Saturday night, February the 9th in Reading, Pennsylvania, Sunday the 10th in Easton, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And
that's going to be that's our season premiere.
And if you would, go ahead and let us know about the season premiere, all the agents and the superhuman crew.
Oh, wow. It's going to be an incredible weekend with all the Chikara stars there. There's going to be title matches. The Young Lions Cup is going to be on the line. The Campeonato de Parejas will be on the line. We're going to see the long-awaited confrontation between Mr. Touchdown and Archibald Peck. How long have you been waiting for that one?
Been waiting on that.
I've been waiting because
First of all, did you guys have any, could you believe it when the mysterious and handsome stranger was revealed to be Archibald?
See, actually, furthest from my mind, I heard it was actually it was Ahmed Johnson.
I heard it was Ahmed Johnson as well. I also heard it was Wendell Cooley.
Actually, I heard it was Buff Bagwell.
Uh-oh.
But no, to everyone's shock, it is Archibald Peck. It blew my mind.
Mr. Touchdown, especially around the Super Bowl and the Pro Bowl today. I mean, this is his territory. Archibald has his work cut out. He's going the full length of the court with no timeouts and 3.7.
Absolutely. America's other favorite pastime, but we're not going to talk about that tonight.
Now, in addition to everything going on with Chikara Pro Wrestling, and like I said, National Pro Wrestling Day right around the corner, what's on the palette right now with Kaiju Big Battle?
Okay, Kaiju Big Battle is going to be making its National Pro Wrestling Day appearance in the afternoon. As you may know, there are two cards that day, February 2nd, which is Saturday. There's an afternoon card and there's an evening card. Kaiju will be in the afternoon. And for this particular show, Dr. Cube has decided he's going to unleash his mammoth Colossus of the Cosmos, known as Sekhmet. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Sekhmet. It's one terrifying-looking, all that cross between a Tyrannosaurus and like those aliens from Land of the Lost.
Around here we call that Joey Lightning, but
pretty much.
That is. This is going to be amazing.
So Dr. Cube is going to be bringing Sekhmet, of course, wherever Dr. Cube goes. His entourage, his posse, also follows him. So I'm sure we're going to see the rogue gallery of Dr. Cube creations and heroically standing up to Dr. Cube and his evil monster-creating ways will be none other than the Kaiju Grand Champion, American Beetle.
Oh,
Very nice.
Man. Now, here's what I want to know. Here's what I want to know, Gavin, really quick, sir. Who do you think's going to pop more for this? The fans or the boys in the back? Because I'm telling you right now, you know this, we've said this 1,000 times, you are a cult favorite. This entire organization is a cult favorite, sir. Who's going to have the louder pop? I say the boys in the back.
Well, I don't... American Beetle has a lot of fans south of the border. So I'm going to say Central America, South America, that's where we're really going to hear the loud pop.
Mabo, come on back in.
Now, Sekhmet, part of the yes, part of the where was it? The part of Guy the Space Pirate. You know, his first mate. Is he going to be there?
No, Guy the Space Pirate is gone. Guy the Space Pirate has moved on. Over the course of many eons of space travel, and I think the Space Pirate had enough of space travel, and he's gone on. I think he now owns a used car dealership in Arizona. But Sekhmet, the services of Sekhmet were relinquished to Dr. Cube.
Okay. Now, I know you said Dr. Cube's posse was going to be there. Now, are you familiar with, of course, it's in the Wrestling Is Network, Wrestling Is Fun. You're familiar with them, correct?
Wrestling is fun, absolutely. I'm quite familiar.
Now, you all
we
know
have,
they have...
we have shows coming up in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Yes, we actually just had Juan Francisco de Coronado on earlier.
Juan Francisco de Coronado. My fellow call him Johnny Ego, but that's okay.
Juan Francisco.
Well, now, part of Dr. Cube's posse is Hell Monkey, correct?
Yes, Hell Monkey. I'm sure Hell Monkey will be lurking somewhere.
Well, Mr. Touchdown, Mark Angelicetti, is the banana champion in Wrestling Is Fun. Any chance that... Do you think Hell Monkey... Because you seem to know...
You know, good point. Good point.
See, exactly.
I'm glad you raised that. I'm glad you raised that point. Hell Monkey, of course, has been very busy trying to reunite the Apes of Wrath. His long-time tag, and so far he hasn't made any Wrestling Is Fun appearances. But what we do know about Wrestling Is Fun is that the prize isn't. It's not the banana that's the prize. The prize is the potassium that's inside the banana. And Hell Monkey wants nothing to do with any of this potassium. He just wants the banana. So Dr. Cube has special potassium-less bananas made specifically for Hell Monkey.
And that puts me in the weirdest freaking position I've ever had to be in for a follow-up, so I'm going to defer Wicked Nemesis.
I can't do this interview anymore.
Yes, you can. Get your ass back. So everybody's worried about the inside of the banana, especially the potassium. Okay. Speaking of, I'm not even going to do the reference
banana,
point.
Don't you understand?
Yes.
The banana itself is worthless. It's the potassium inside.
Yes.
That's worth so damn much.
We've lost Mabo. He's jello.
I'm done. I'm checking out.
Kevin, you destroyed Mabo.
I just can't wait to see Dr. Cube out there. Without giving too much away.
Dr. Cube's been working out. Dr. Cube's been hitting the free weights.
Uh-oh.
Dr. Cube is ready.
Well, with that being said, how do you think that the fans are going to react to this with such a cult following that you have, sir? Do you think with this thousands of people that are going to be there, sir?
Well, I mean, after the initial shock, of course, we'll have to wipe up what's left of their brains off the floor after we blow their minds. Once that's taken care of and we've mopped all that up, I'm sure they can collect themselves and they'll be able to, register what they're seeing, which is going to basically be an intergalactic battle of chess.
Do we, Do people who actually arrive at the show get free, like, raincoats just in case they get messy from all the blown minds?
Kind of like a Gallagher show.
Yeah.
Gallagher tried to get into one of our shows once, and we had to turn him away at the door, unfortunately.
That would have been fun to
Hey,
watch.
sold out is sold out. I'm sorry. I don't care if you're Gallagher or Gallagher 2 or what.
Bruce or Leo or Bruce in that particular order. Leo being the original, Bruce being his brother.
I don't care if your likeness is brushed on the back of your jean jacket. You're still not
Oh,
getting
that's
in.
messed up. Oh my God, the fans don't get that. That's great.
Okay. I'm back. Now the loud one. Now, as everybody knows, of course, you're the man on the mic for Chikara. You're the man on the mic. You're the man on the mic.
I'm not going to worry about that.
You also represent Kaiju, but you just wrapped up a show for another company that is going to be represented on National Pro Wrestling Day. Sorry, I still got the giggles. First of all, how was the show? What happened? Can you fill us in on what you just came from?
Well, I mean, it was the first ever, the debut of pro wrestling Wrestling is Respect, which has born from the act of Pro Wrestling Respect, which was a promotion that was, they ran for a little while. They had a few shows, and there was a little bit of a following, and I guess you'd say the style of Pro Wrestling Respect is just that. It's very competition oriented. It's all about one-upmanship. It's about people challenging themselves and pushing themselves a little bit further. We saw a couple of real gladiators going at it tonight in the likes of Delirious taking on the Shard from Gekido, formerly of Gekido. And this was it was an incredible match because the Shard had an incredible 2012. He was one of our breakout stars. He's a good-looking guy too, and he was tested tonight. He was tested against the ring veteran Delirious. It was quite a match, and I don't want to spoil it for you, but quite a contest.
You're listening to Beyond Ringside Live, 8 minutes before the top of the hour of Fast Eddie Lane. Mark Mabo Bowman, the Wicked Nemesis, Mad Dog Matt Denton, being joined by the loud one himself, Gavin Loudspeaker, Loud and Noxious, the voice of Chikara Pro Wrestling, the voice of Kaiju Big Battle, and we're talking about a little bit of everything, all leading up to National Pro Wrestling Day, Saturday, February the 2nd in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This is going to be a tremendous outing for wrestling fans of all ages. It doesn't matter what style you like. You're going to have so many different companies represented there. We've had a chance to speak with Loudon, or the Loud One, about Kaiju Big Battle's contribution toward National Pro Wrestling Day. Let's make a dip real quick over to Chikara's contribution to National Pro Wrestling Day, Gavin.
Yeah, well, Chikara is, for a long time, we have had one of the longest is the Rey de Voladores mini tournament, right? Where we crown our king of high flyers. That is going to happen on Pro Wrestling Day. We're going to have several of the qualification matches in the afternoon, and then the finals for Rey de Voladores will happen at night. At the evening card, we will crown a brand new Rey de Voladores, and the list, the people who have won Rey de Voladores, it reads like a who's who of high flying stars internationally. We're talking about guys like Kota Ibushi. We're talking about guys like Frightman. We're talking about it's really guys high flying Ophidian. Really the up and coming high flying stars. The action that you can only kind of get in a Chikara ring.
And featured on this one is one of the notes that I have: Los Ice Creams and Fist are going to be taking on the Colony and 3.0 as part of the Chikara's contribution, right?
Yes.
And that
will also be happening.
Dude, that is going to be everything going on. You've got so many stars who are going to be, and so many that the Chikara faithful are going to recognize coming into this event, both on the daytime and the nighttime event.
And let's face it, when you have the ice creams, you don't really need any other stars.
Amen. I saw them when Chikara made their way down here to Alabama. Oh, entertained.
Dude, with all due, Gavin, I got to say this.
You're entertained and oddly refreshed, also.
I have to say this because I really wanted to be at the event that Shakara held in our home state of Alabama. Unfortunately, I had an obligation that night that I could not shake, and I really wish I could have been there. This is another circumstance. February 2nd, I really wish I could be at that event, and I know, like I said, Shakara's got their season premiere.
You know why you really wish you could be there?
What's that?
Because it's free. It's free.
Actually,
National Pro Wrestling Day is you show up at the door. You show up at the Derby Inc. Gardens, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and you get in free.
Now, here's the thing. I'm based down in Birmingham, Alabama, but you know something? I am heading over to SMVOD because this is the daytime and the nighttime shows are both going to be pay-per-views that are available on SMVOD, easily available.
Point.
And from that,
even in Alabama, you can be part of national history.
Okay, wait a second. You got
by getting it online and ordering the pay-per-view.
As a favor to me, not necessarily a favor to me, but the populace down here, I need you to say it properly, or at least what some people feel is properly. You got to say "Alla freaking Bama."
Did you want me? You want me to give a special shout out to Alabama?
No, I wanted you to say. I wanted to hear you say "Alla freaking Bama."
Alla freaking Bama.
There you go. All right, there we go.
Alla freaking Bama.
How that song ever made it, I really don't know.
I'm gonna look right into the camera and I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say we are broadcasting everywhere from Maine to Alla freaking Bama.
That works for me. Now, the pay-per-view, very much available, and it's going to be one of those circumstances where you pay one price and you're going to be able to catch the replays. Now, you've got the two different events coming up. Now, it's the whole thing still for me. So many different promotions involved, and you got the entire Wrestling Is network. Evolve Pro Wrestling is going to be represented there. New York Wrestling Connection is going to be there. CWF Mid Atlantic is going to.
You know what the wrestling? Okay, I'm sorry to go back to this. We were talking about the Wrestling Is network, and you know what it kind of reminds me of, Bravo? Kind of reminds me of the territories. Remember the territories?
Yeah.
Those days. Kind of reminds me of that. You got a bunch of different promotions. They all had their own thing going on, and then they decide to kind of, work together and try to become something, even bigger than the sum of its parts.
Now, do you remember how much the pay-per-view itself is going to be? I think it's $14.95, right?
I believe so. Very, very affordable. And like you said, not only do you catch the replay, but you can watch it anytime you want.
Exactly.
Anytime, forever.
Exactly. First off, I want to say thank you. Dude, I can always count on you to act. I remember the first time you came on and absolutely blown away all over again. I do have to ask, after the show in Bama, did y'all manage to find a place to do karaoke?
No.
Boo.
We did, but I did find where the Allman Brothers are recorded one.
Let me make
like right across, like there was like a studio down the street from where we had ours, and apparently it's where the Allman Brothers used to record. So I was very happy about that.
Oh, hold on. There was we were trying to figure. There was one person, but Wicked, come on in real quick. We're going to make one more trip around the horn. We're up against the top of the hour, and I apologize for that. But Wicked, come on back.
Yeah, yes, sir. Really quick. Is there anything that that the fans have to look forward to, sir, on this National Wrestling Day that you can? I know you've already kind of tilted your hand a little bit, and without showing your entire hand, anything that kind of if you don't think it can come, what about this?
Okay, well let me just say this about Dr. Q. Here is someone that has never, ever been short on surprises. He is not, let's just put it this way, I don't know what he's up to, but he's not the type of person to come into an event like National Pro Wrestling Day lightly. I'm sure Dr. Cube has something up his latex sleeve that we've never even seen before. And it's going to blow away everyone in Philadelphia. It's going to blow away everyone on iPay-per-view, and it will have ramifications that will rip off Little Kaiju Big Battle and beyond. I'm going to go ahead and say it, and beyond. I can just feel it. I can feel it.
Matt Denton, come on in one more time real quick.
Is the surprise potassium?
I knew he'd get that reference back in there. Now, real quick.
What did he say?
He said it's the surprise on the potassium.
Okay, yeah. Well,
now, the Chikara season premiere coming up in 2 weeks from this weekend. What is on the horizon aside from National Pro Wrestling Day for Kaiju Big Battle?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, actually. Well, I'm going to answer that question right now. What we've got coming up is there's this little thing they do in April. It's called the WWE does it. It's called WrestleMania.
Right.
This little show they do. They do it every year. You've probably heard about it.
Maybe.
In this year, it's going to happen in the Meadowlands in New Jersey, and it's an all-weekend event that is taking place called WrestleCon. I heard about that.
Yes,
WrestleCon is going to be all weekend long, and it's just going to be, fans coming in. There's going to be shows, all kinds of meet and greets and vendors. Then there's going to be probably cops as well. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Folks, we're headed to the top of the hour in just a couple of seconds. Joining us in just a few, we're going to be joined by mixed martial arts promoter based out of Huntsville, Alabama, Jason Sanderson, going to be joining us live on Beyond Ringside a little bit later on in the broadcast.
I had to take care of some business here.
Understandable.
And that being paying a toll.
I knew it was a toll road.
The date is going to be.
That is it's first weekend of April.
It's the first weekend of April, and the Friday, I believe it's April 5th. That's going to be the date of the Kaiju Big Battle. That's going to happen at the Meadowlands Expo Center.
Right.
And it's going to be at midnight. So it's a special, it's kind of a special midnight party, almost sort of like an after party from all the events that are going on Friday. And I'm very excited about this because what an awesome way to kick off WrestleMania weekend, a giant monster battle.
Matter of fact, that's going to be on Friday, April the 5th in Secaucus, New Jersey at the Meadowlands Expo Center, 355 Plaza Drive in Secaucus. If you really want to look it up, it's area code 07094.
And you can buy tickets specifically for the Kaiju event, or there's also a group ticket that you can get into all the events. You can get a ticket, and then you can see Kaiju. You'll be able to see Chikara. You'll be able to see Evolve. You'll be able to see Dragon. Every you'll be able to see all with this combined ticket, or you can just pick and choose the shows that you want to see. Either way, WrestleCon is going to definitely be a one-of-a-kind event in its own right.
It really, based on everything, I haven't had a chance to, I would love to be able to experience in person. I've never seen it live in person, and I would love to be able to see something like that. Gavin, can you come back on with us as the event for Kaiju comes, as WrestleCon gets closer?
Of course I can. Anytime.
I will hold you to that. Thank you.
Anytime.
Now, real quick, how can everybody track you down in particular?
Pardon me?
How can everybody track you down on the social networks real quick?
Oh, you can catch me at Loud and Noxious, at Loud and Noxious on my Twitter handle. And please hit me up. Please let me know what you think. Please let me know how you guys are feeling about this Dr. Cube and what's up his sleeve.
And you can definitely see him this coming Saturday, February the 2nd, in Philadelphia as part of National Pro Wrestling Day. Our very special guest at this time. Like I said, you know him under multiple names. From Chikara Pro Wrestling, Gavin Loudspeaker. From Kaiju Big Battle, Loud and Noxious. The two, the one, the only. I think I like it like that.
Many names, but only one voice.
And always fun to have on air. Gavin, thank you for coming on. It's a great pleasure.
Hey, thank you guys. I really, really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you guys real soon. I come back to Alabama sometime.
We're looking forward to it. Folks, hang tight. We'll be right back right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org, because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
Maria Inez Phillips talks about not recycling.
I've got too many newspapers and magazines and catalogs in there with plastic containers and bottles and cans.
Your trash can is full of recyclables?
No, it's full of trash.
You say trash, Maria. I say rubbish.
Whatever it is, I'm not going through it. I just don't get it.
Some things are very obvious, Maria.
Learn the difference between trash and recycling and more.
I put out way too much trash to think about recycling.
Visit yougottabekidding.org today.
I want to finish
school
and then go to
college
to be able to
graduate
and have
the future
my parents couldn't have, because I know that
going to college
is the best thing I can do for my
future.
The words of a parent help to build the future of a child. The Hispanic Scholarship Fund has the information to help your kids go to college. Visit yourwordstoday.org or call 1-877-HSF-8711. Sponsored by the Hispanic Scholarship Fund and the Ad Council.
Let me try.
Okay, just remember what I showed you.
Yep. There was a bunny who had one big ear and another big ear. They looped, made a bow, and the bunny hopped away. I did it!
Oh, good job, kiddo. Now let's tie your other shoe.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Learn more at 1-877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Dave, what are you doing?
Just sending a gift to Dave 2037.
Who?
Me in the future. I save a little money from every paycheck for Dave 2037 so he can buy anti-gravity boots or a hologram Doberman. What are you getting Steve 2037?
Steve 2037 will be just fine.
Well, okay, but don't expect to borrow my anti-gravity boots.
Save something for the future. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1,000,000. For free ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
This year, firefighters will battle thousands of wildfires around the country in hopes of containing them. But a single ember that escapes can travel more than 1 mile, where it can ignite and destroy your home or community. You can't control where the ember will land, only what happens when it does. Prepare, protect, prevail. Get fire adapted. Learn simple steps you could take now to reduce wildfire damage later at fireadapted.org. A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council. Learn more at fireadapted.org.
Can you tell if the leftovers from this dinner party are beginning to grow bacteria that could lead to severe diarrhea, vomiting, and stomach cramps? Listen. You can't see it either. Get leftovers into the refrigerator as soon as possible. Spoiled leftovers can make you very sick, or worse. Roughly 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year, but you can keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov. Brought to you by the USDA, HHS, and the Ad Council.
Patty, I boldly went to socialsecurity.gov, and it's out of this world.
Socialsecurity.gov is a website for everybody.
Even teenagers?
Absolutely. Young people can help their grandparents with retiring online or getting extra help with their Medicare prescription drug costs.
So really, everyone of all ages should go to socialsecurity.gov.
Boldly go.
You know that the ice cream scoop can make a child smile, and that by slowing us down, the traffic light can keep us going. You know that the lawnmower makes life easier, that the blood bank makes life possible. But did you know all these ideas came from the minds of African Americans? Support the United Negro College Fund, because a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Visit uncf.org or call 1-800-332-UNCF. Brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden...
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
Don't wait. Call 911 immediately.
Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Charlie. I fight fires and I save lives.
My name's Renee. I'm a cardiologist. I save lives.
My name's Anthony. I'm an EMT. I save lives.
You don't have to be a professional to save a life. Firefighters, doctors, and others save lives. You can too. Don't wait. To learn more about the warning signs and how you can help prevent suicide, visit save.org. In a crisis, call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK.
With video games, I'm often choosing between what my kids want and what I think is best for them.
Hey Mom, how about this one?
Rated T for teen with violence and suggestive themes. Let me check the rating summary. Frenetic combat, cries of pain, female warlords expose cleavage.
Maybe the other one's better.
The rating summaries are free. Use them and you'll be armed with the world's most powerful weapon, knowledge.
For more information, go to esrb.org.
This is a guided meditation on parenting. Take a deep breath in and let go of the time you and your son played basketball and you attempted to slam dunk. Or when you hit that piñata into your neighbor's yard. Let it go.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Welcome to Move Time Radio, presented by the Arthritis Foundation. Yeah, get down and dance. You hear that? That's the sound of arthritis pain being moved, grooved, hustled, shuffled, juke, jive, jumped, funked, shimmied, shook, and boogied. See, movement is just one of the ways to help fight osteoarthritis pain. Another is weight loss. You get rid of just 1 pound, that's 4 pounds of pressure off each knee. For more information on managing pain, wind and grind on over to fightarthritispain.org. This message brought to you by the Arthritis Foundation and the Ad Council.
Remember when your neighbor found us naked in the car, and the time some outdoor action got us kicked out of the park? Getting frisky in the dark, I gave your eye a poke. I think the dog is also in the bed. Do I smell smoke, you and me? We never ever give up.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Visit bedsider.org to compare all the choices. Brought to you by Bedsider and the Ad Council. Bedsider.org.
Today in school, I learned a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In biology, I learned that I'm fat and stupid. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in gym, I learned that I'm pathetic and a joke. The only thing I didn't learn in school today is why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
This is...
Set and ready to keep this ride alive on a Sunday night, 12 minutes after the top of the hour. Welcome back into Beyond Ringside. Fast Eddie Lane behind the control panel. Being joined by a tag team partner, MMA reporter extraordinaire, Vicki Jackson. How you doing tonight?
Hey, doing great. What's going on over there?
It has been a great night. Our anniversary episode here on Beyond Ringside. We have had some great guests, and we get a chance, of course, glad to have you on board this evening, and like to welcome in a very special guest at this time from the Bama Fighting Championships, Jason Sanderson. How you doing tonight, sir?
Hey, guys, man, I'm doing great. How about you folks?
It's been chaos, and you know something? We wouldn't have it any other way.
That's good. Sounds good. That's the way I like it.
And the word chaos applies to the world of professional wrestling. It also applies to the world of mixed martial arts. And matter of fact, speaking of mixed martial arts, Bama Fighting Championships has a great event coming up on Saturday, February the 2nd in Huntsville, Alabama. Right, Jason?
That's right. February 2nd, we're going to have our first show, Bama Fighting Championships 1. We got a special UFC guest. Brian Stan's going to be in the building. We got a good lineup of fighters, local fighters, guys from Alabama, Florida, Georgia. It's going to be an awesome first show.
And this is going to take place at the Von Braun Civic Center South Hall, place I'm very familiar with. Love the venue. 700 Monroe Street Southwest in Huntsville, USA. Now, the doors are going to open 6 o'clock p.m., right?
Yeah, 6 o'clock p.m. The doors will open. All our VIP guests and all our sponsors are going to have a pre-fight function at 5 o'clock that they're all going to attend. We'll all make our way over at 6 o'clock when the doors open, and the fights will start at 7 o'clock on the dot. Everybody tells you that, but our show will start at 7 o'clock on the dot.
Now, let me know a little bit about the ticket availability for the event and what your price points are.
Ticket availability for the event is at Ticketmaster.com. You can go to Ticketmaster.com and buy tickets. Price point are going to be from $30 all the way up to, we got VIP seats up to $75. So everything in between will start, and that's at Ticketmaster.com, and there are available tickets obviously right now. Ticket sales are actually going really good for our first event. We're really happy with it to this point, but tickets are definitely available at Ticketmaster.com.
Now, some of the names that are jumping right out at me, of course, I've had a chance to look at the promotional poster. I'm still working on trying to take a look at the overall lineup. One of the names that I'm looking at right now is Brian the All-American Stan. Tell us a little bit about him.
Yeah, he's a UFC guy. He's going to be our special guest that night. This being a big military town, obviously, we wanted to have somebody come in that, is familiar with a lot of people's lifestyles and stuff here. He's a UFC veteran. He's the former WEC champ. We wanted to bring in somebody. Huntsville, we've had some good mixed martial arts shows here. We want to get some names in here, get some fighters some exposure. So we actually have some different guys coming from different places higher up to where these guys can fight in front of these guys. We actually have a couple of his fighters fighting that night. We have a female fighter that's going to make her debut, Regina Lumina. She'll actually be fighting another UFC guy, Alan Belcher's top female out of their camp, Mickey Rogers, that night. But Brian Stan, he's a hell of a fighter. We just wanted to get somebody, the fighters don't get a chance to, mingle with guys like that here in Alabama. We're kind of get put on the back burner sometimes. And our promotion really wants to get the fighters out there, get them some exposure, some sponsorships, and actually make things happen in Alabama. But Brian Stan, UFC guy, like I said, WEC champ, former WEC champ, and it'd be something that fans can come out, you can take, a picture with him, get his autograph, say hi to him, and he'd just be kind of in the atmosphere, kind of building the show up.
Vicki Jackson, come on board.
I'm just sitting here looking at the little fight card that I have, and I'm like, oh man, I'd like to see this one. And I'm thinking this fight's going to be good, and Real Estrada is going to be great. I'm just kind of sitting here ogling over this fight card that Jason has put together. So I'm like, yeah, I want to see Luke, and I'd like to see this one, and so I just
we if you knew how much trouble I actually had getting a fight card put together, as you're probably real familiar. I've had about 14 guys and girls back out from all kind of different reasons, which you know how that is. But we had probably the easiest thing I thought that would be to do with the show was put the fight card together here in Alabama. But we're gonna have some real good matchups that night. We got some first time fighters. We got guys who've been fighting for years. So we got some females on the card. We got some heavyweight guys, some 125-pound guys. We're gonna have some 325-pound guys. So we're going to have a good night of fights. The crowd's going to get to see, some small guys, some girls, some big guys, some athletic guys. So it's going to be a really, really good card. The matchups are going to be very fair. There's nobody in there that's going to just, none of the fights should last 30 seconds unless somebody gets put to sleep real quick. They should actually be good, hard-fought fights. And that's what we're trying to do here at Bama Fighting Championships.
Let's take a look at some of the fights that you've got coming up this coming Saturday night in Huntsville, Alabama, Jason.
All right. The main event that night actually changed. Our main event spot has actually moved into two guys who are well known here in Alabama, two tough guys that have been fighting for a while. They've had some layoffs and some different things happen when we went through a commission change and actually getting legalized and stuff. But we got Rocket City MMA fighter named Eric Neal. He's making his first fight at 170. He was a 155 guy. When he started fighting, he was about 18 years old. He's 22 now. He's put on some muscle, just getting some man meat on him. And he's not making the cut to 55 anymore, so he's making his 70 debut against another tough guy that's been around for a while, out of Coleman, out of Fear None Gym, Luke Day. That's going to be a really, really, really well-even fight. I expect for them to stand and trade, and I expect for them on the ground to show some high-caliber jiu-jitsu that night. Really, really looking forward to that fight. Originally, Jack Whitfield and Tim Kelly, two guys who are at 55 that were supposed to be the main event that night. We had some issues getting that fight put together. It was kind of official, and that kind of fell through. So Luke Day and Eric Neal will be our main event that night, and it's going to be an awesome fight. I'd like to recognize somebody. Jared Salter out of Florida has stepped up to fight Jack Whitfield at 170. So Jack will have a fight that night, not against the original opponent, but Jared Salter out of Florida, 2-1 Jared Salter will be fighting that night. He stepped up to the plate, and he's going to fight Jack Whitfield that night at 170. Looking forward to that. Jack's been training his butt off. Jared Salter, from what I hear, is a really, really good fighter. He's complete, and he was already in a training camp. So that's going to be a good fight. We also got a guy that a lot of people in Alabama have heard about but have not got to see fight. He's a 125-pound guy named Salvador Garcia. He was originally with the camp Team Sturgis here in Huntsville, Alabama. They kind of shut down, so he's transitioned over to Rocket City MMA, and he is going to be fighting the Bello MMA 125-pounder out of there named Rob Daniels. These two guys are fast. Their stand-up is phenomenal, and it's going to be a war. These two have already said they're going to stand up and bang it out. And at 125 pounds, when two guys like that stand up and bang it out, it is fast. So that's going to be an exciting fight to watch. The girls fight, Regina Lumina, making her debut in MMA. She has a kickboxing background out of Brian Stan's camp in Georgia. Is going to be taking on another UFC fighters, one of their fighters, Alan Belcher, out of Mississippi. His top female, Mickey Rogers. They're going to face off that night. And from what I hear, they are going to be fireworks. So as far as the female match, sometimes they're lackluster until you get up into the pro ranks. But I think a lot of people that haven't got to see a female mixed martial arts fight to be exposed to this one for their first one is going to be awesome to watch this. And we got some heavyweight guys. We got Joe Goss. Everybody knows Joe Goss. He's Golden Gloves boxer, 325 pounds. He's going to be taking on hard-nosed Quentin Johnson, who's another 300-pounder. That one, whoever gets hit first is probably going to sleep. Somebody that big hits you, you're going to sleep. So that's going to be exciting to watch those two guys duke it out. At 300-plus pounds, that's always fun. And they're both skilled guys. They're not just going to be going in there sloppy. So they've been fighting for a while, and that's going to be exciting to watch. And we also just got this set up about 2 days ago from a fight that we had to switch around. 2 years ago, Raul Estrada versus Robert Frettenborough ended with Estrada putting Frettenborough out, asleep with knee to the face, put him out. Frettenborough was originally scheduled to fight another guy, and Raul Estrada's third guy backed out on him, and Frettenborough said, hey, I want to step up, I want that rematch. So now him and Raul Estrada are going to be doing a rematch, and from what I hear, Frettenborough is on a mission. He's wanting to take Raul Estrada out. He wants revenge, and it's going to be a dog fight. And that's Raul Estrada versus Robert Frettenborough. This is the rematch from 2 years ago. So it's going to be a really good night of fights.
It sounds like it. And taking a look at the card up, I mean, there's some great events going on all around the southeastern United States, and y'all got Huntsville covered this coming Saturday night, February the 2nd, Huntsville. Jason,
That's
first,
right.
Now, for everybody who wants to get a little bit more information on the company itself on excuse me, I hate it when that happens. I'm still trying to get rid of Kermit, and I'm wishing Miss Piggy would just come pick him up and take him away. For people who want to find out a little bit more about Bama Fighting Championships, how can they find out?
They can go to www.bamafightingchampionships.com. They can go to our promotional company, RocketCityPromotions.com. They can hit me up on Facebook, Jason Sanderson /Facebook.com. You can go to our Facebook page, BamaFightingChampionships.com. You can call me personally, 668-5288. I don't mind. Call me anytime you want to. Need information, need tickets, just want to talk, you get lonely, let me know.
Oh, I'm glad one of my co-hosts was not on here when you said if you're lonely, call. No. Your phone would have gone kaboom. Vicky, I can just say 2 syllables, Maybo. I'm kidding, Mark. I will get no end of crap for that.
I just want to say one thing. Ro Estrada, I saw him fight I want to say probably about a year and a half, or it may have been as long as 2 years ago. Loved it. He is such a badass fighter, and I've seen Robert fight several times, and so, man, I hate that I'm not going to get to be able to see that matchup because I really love to see Ro Estrada again because he is just incredibly amazing, and so that matchup right there alone is going to be fabulous.
It sounds
yeah,
like
I'm really looking forward to that one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, real quick, I know everybody loves, especially the corporate side of life, sponsors for the event. Who have you got online?
Sponsors to the event. Let me just say this over and over and over again. This show would not be possible if we had not grabbed some great sponsors. Our main corporate sponsor that I want to thank, and I want to thank a million times, is the Pony. I want to thank the Pony, and I want to thank the Pony, and I want to thank the Pony again for putting up some dough, sponsoring us. They got some fighters sponsored. They got some beautiful ring girls that are going to come out that night. We're going to do a lot of VIP stuff with some of their beautiful entertainers. But the Pony, we thank the Pony, TLG Consulting, Rain Entertainment, Rocket City MMA, the La Quinta Inn, Toshiba, and we also like to thank my probably best sponsor that you'll ever have, but he won't leave us alone, Woody Anderson Ford. We want to say thanks to Chuck over at Woody Anderson Ford. Just came aboard Friday, and we want to give them a big thanks, and he has been awesome in the 2 days that we've been working some stuff out. He has been great. So the Pony, TLG Consulting, Rain Entertainment, La Quinta Inn, and Woody Anderson Ford, we really, really appreciate it. And if it wasn't for sponsors, it would be really hard to put on an event like this. This stuff isn't cheap. We have to work our butt off, and we're trying to build a promotion, and the only way to do it is with some sponsorships and different things like that, different avenues. Oh, I'm sorry. Also, Premier Investigations. Premier Investigations, if you need your wife followed, your husband followed, you think something's going on, Premier Investigations will find out for you. If your wife's cheating on you, your husband's cheating on you, you think your husband's got a boyfriend, just call Premier Investigations and they will find out. They got all kind of means of finding different stuff out, and Premier Investigations, I didn't mean to leave you out, but the Pony, TLG Consultant, Premier Investigations, Woody Anderson Ford, the La Quinta Inn, we thank all of you, Rain Entertainment, and like I said, and the next time I hope our list is a lot longer.
And for the record, with all due respect to Premier Investigations, that offer is not valid in Alabaster, Alabama, or any subsidiary therein. Is it? Right. Okay, no.
It's half off in Alabaster.
Oh, great. Thanks. Get me buried tonight. Jason, I want to thank you for taking the time to come on with us. It has been great, and I want to let you know the door is always open. Keep us posted on upcoming events. Now, you said this is going to be the debut outing for the Bama Fighting Championships, right?
This is our very first show, Bama Fighting Championships 1. Our second show is going to be April 20th, and it's going to even just get better every time. Bama Fighting Championships is here to stay. We will do 6 to 8 shows a year. April 20th will be the second one, but February 2nd, Von Braun Civic Center, Huntsville, Alabama, Bama Fighting Championships 1 is going down, and we want to see you there.
Jason, I want to thank you once again for taking the time to come on. The door is always open. Keep us in the loop. Let us know what's going on, okay?
I will do that. Thanks for having me, guys.
You got it. Ladies and gentlemen, our special guest in this segment with the Bama Fighting Championships, Jason Sanderson, right here on Beyond Ringside, and we'll be back right after this.
This is a guided meditation on parenting. Take a deep breath in and let go of the time you and your son played basketball and you attempted to slam dunk. Or when you hit that piñata into your neighbor's yard. Let it go.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Welcome to Move Time Radio, presented by the Arthritis Foundation. Yeah, get down and dance. You hear that? That's the sound of arthritis pain being moved, grooved, hustled, shuffled, juke, jive, junked, funked, shimmied, shook, and boogied. See, movement is just one of the ways to help fight osteoarthritis pain. Another is weight loss. You get rid of just 1 pound, that's 4 pounds of pressure off each knee. For more information on managing pain, wind and grind on over to fightarthritispain.org. This message brought to you by the Arthritis Foundation and the Ad Council.
Remember when your neighbor found us naked in the car, and the time some interaction got us kicked out of the park? Getting frisky in the dark, I gave your eye a poke. I think the dog is also in the bed. Do I smell smoke, you and me? We never ever give up.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Visit bedsider.org to compare all the choices. Brought to you by Bedsider and the Ad Council. Bedsider.org.
Today in school, I learned a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In biology, I learned that I'm fat and stupid. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in gym, I learned that I'm pathetic and a joke. The only thing I didn't learn in school today is why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
This is a test to find out if you know it all when it comes to children. Name one of the leading killers of U.S. children age 1 to 13. What's the best way to protect children in a car crash? At what age and size should a child start using a booster seat?
Don't assume you know it all when it comes to car seats for your child. Go to safercar.gov/the-right-seat and know for sure. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Oh! You are round MVP. Yeah, man. Yo, Drew, I finally got round MVP. Round MVP.
No way. That was some ownage.
Finally earning round MVP takes determination. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
Visit knowhowtogo.org to learn what you should be doing right now to prepare for college. Start taking the steps at knowhowtogo.org. Brought to you by the American Council on Education, Lumina Foundation, and the Ad Council.
My name is Meera Batra, and this is How I Live United. Many families have come to America for a better life. I advocate for these families with United Way. United Way empowers them to see opportunities available. We help them get involved with their kids' schools and network within the community. My name is Meera Batra. I help families see opportunity and succeed. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Thanks for asking, but I'd rather not send you nude pictures. I'm camera shy. I already said no. Under my clothes, I'm a robot. My webcam is broken. I'm worried they'll get passed around school. I have a rash. I have nudophobia. I have lizard skin. I'm a vampire, so I don't show up in pictures anyways. Your badgering has really killed the mood.
When someone is pressuring you to do something you don't want to, how many ways can you say no before they get the message? Let us know at that'snotcool.com. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Steven.
Who said that?
Me, down here.
Ugh, what are you, a yellow booger?
I'm a banana slug, Steven.
What are you doing in my room?
I'm your sense of adventure. It's been a long time since we've had an adventure in the forest.
Mom took me to the forest last year.
I'm a slug, Steven. It took me a long time to get here.
You're right. I should get out.
Yeah, the forest is not that far away.
Hey, Mom!
Come to the forest where the more adventurous you lives. Check out discovertheforest.org for cool places nearby. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Mark Anthony Farad, recording artist, actors, and athletes against drunk driving. Music is one of the most important things in my life, but nothing is more important than life itself. So choose a designated driver. Friends don't let friends drive drunk.
How I long to hear you sing beneath the clear blue skies.
A public service message brought to you by the Ad Council, U.S. Department of Transportation, National Association of Broadcasters, and RAD.
Today, you ate Greek yogurt. You took the train. You wondered why people spend so much time reading celebrity blogs. You read a celebrity blog. You planned a workout. You skipped it. You did all the things that one normally does the day before a devastating earthquake shakes the community to the ground. You never know when the day before is the day before. Prepare for tomorrow at ready.gov/today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
The traditional light bulb, a groundbreaking invention in 1879. It's time we switch to longer-lasting Energy Star light bulbs. They're more efficient than the old bulbs, like a text message is more efficient than a carrier pigeon.
And they cut down on our energy costs. Because in our own groundbreaking age, we deserve a light bulb that saves us some cash. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
I don't believe it. My savings are gone.
Okay, think. Where'd you have them last?
I was home, then I spent them on that vacation in this tiny suit of armor. Now they're gone.
Weird.
Weird? Not really. Not saving now means no money later. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1,000,000. For free ideas on ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
Oh, I broke his little gauntlet.
Oh no.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Wildfires burn millions of acres across the country each year. And each year, wildland firefighters battle to contain them. But they can't do it alone. For some communities, it's not a question of if wildfires strike, but when. Get fire adapted. Learn what you can do now to reduce wildfire damage later at fireadapted.org. A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council. Learn more at fireadapted.org.
In 1977, an 8-year-old boy picked up the game of golf from his father. The odds of that same boy winning the US Open twice, 1 in 1.2 billion. The odds of him having a child diagnosed with autism, 1 in 88. Ernie Els encourages you to learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
This moment of uncontrollable laughter was made possible by a 32-year-old man with little to no coordination attempting to execute a simple cartwheel. His name is Sergeant Warner, but young James, our laughing friend here, simply calls him Dad. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Can you tell if the surfaces in this kitchen are crawling with bacteria that could cause chronic arthritis? Listen. You can't see it either. Wash surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water while preparing food, especially when handling raw meats or eggs. Raw food may contain bacteria that can make you very sick, or worse. Roughly 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year, but you can keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov. Brought to you by the USDA, HHS, and the Ad Council.
At risk of losing your home, in a foreclosure, we can help. We'll deal with your bank, reduce your payments, lower your principal, buy you a new car, give you the ability to fly. We'll carve your name into the moon with lasers. We'll give you
If you're facing foreclosure, who should you trust? The Hope Hotline is a free resource connecting you with HUD-approved housing counseling agencies available 24 hours a day who can give you the information and clarity you need. Call the Hope Hotline at 888-995-HOPE. That's 888-995-4673. Brought to you by NeighborWorks America and the Ad Council.
Here at the GED Pep Talk Center, we've got a pep talk that can motivate you.
Sometimes things don't always turn out the way you want them to.
You can improve your future. Now get your game face on and take the first step towards a better life. Hurry up! Don't make me repeat myself.
Whatever level of motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Call 1-877-38-YOUR-GED or visit yourged.org for your pep talk and for free classes in your area. GED is a registered trademark of the American Council on Education. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Make sure your child is up with the alarm and ready for school each morning, because missing just 18 days, even in middle school, will put their graduation at risk. It's up to you. Learn more at boostup.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
I'm
I'm Rachel Ray, and food is not only the way I make my living, it's how I spend time with my family and friends. It's hard to imagine true hunger, but sadly, 1 in 6 Americans don't know where their next meal will come from. They're your neighbors, your friends, your co-workers. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger to find out how you can make a difference. I'm Rachel Ray, and together, we are Feeding America.
A message from Feeding America and the Ad Council.
In the wake of a disaster, what one thing can you send that will help people the most? A blanket, a tent, a sandbag, a doctor. Actually, if you send a monetary donation, you send all these things. Even a small donation can make a big impact and can quickly become exactly what people affected by disaster need most.
Want to help those affected by Hurricane Sandy? To donate, visit sandy.adcouncil.org. That's sandy.adcouncil.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
For long-time listeners, you know that this little piece of music normally means one thing. For us, this means we're going into sudden death and then some. Welcome back in on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. We are live on a Sunday night. The anniversary episode continues. Fast Steady Lane behind the control panel. Going at 21 before the top of the hour on this Sunday night edition. For everybody who has been keeping track with us, thank you for joining us on the Sunday night. I want to remind everybody real quick, you can listen live through BeyondRingside.com, also through our Ustream sites, as well as the Shoutcast Radio Network. From that vantage point, if you're running Ustream Mobile or Shoutcast Mobile applications, you can listen through there. And for those who have Ustream Mobile, guess what? No annoying Ustream ads. I didn't think about that when we first got Ustream. Guess what? We got that point covered. Fast Steady Lane being rejoined by Vicki Jackson. Vicki, how you doing, babe?
I'm doing great. Even better now that I have all these fighters on the line. I'm like excited, really, for sure.
We have got the equivalent of the Royal Straight Flush working right now. And guys, do me a favor. I don't think everybody was on when I said, if you would please do me, everybody mute your phones for just a few minutes. And as soon as we get everybody, we're going to take it fight by fight, and then we're going to need everybody in one at a time, and then pop your phone, and we'll bring you straight on in. And ladies and gentlemen, very good friends of ours right here on Beyond Ringside. Like to welcome them back in from Strike Hard Productions, getting ready for Strike Hard 22 on Saturday night, February the 2nd in Birmingham, Alabama at the Zamora Shrine Temple. SHP 22, David Elder, welcome back in. Glad to have you.
Eddie, we're glad to be here, man. Thanks for having us on tonight.
Matt Lavelle, welcome back in.
Hey, Eddie, how you doing, buddy?
You know, at the rate we're going, everybody's going to start thinking we're related.
Well, we are. We're MMA related.
That's what I was about to say. We're related by our love for mixed martial arts and all facets of it. First off, had a phenomenal time at SHP 21 down in Tuscaloosa. It was tremendous. I want to thank you again for allowing me to be a part of that, and I'm really looking forward to SHP 22 at the Zamora Shrine. Having a chance to take a look over the lineup, and folks, I tell you something, and listen closely when I say this. When David and Matt say that they're going to bring a couple of friends on in order to help put everything together and in proper perspective for the upcoming events, I have 14 lines running right now. We have a damn party getting ready to go. First off, gentlemen, if I may, David, I'm going to turn to you for real quick. Give us a little bit of insight on what everybody can look forward to so far at SHP 22.
Well, SHP 22, I can't believe this is number 22 fights for us that we have put together. And for me, the fighters just get better and better. For one thing, they're getting more and more experience. And our goal to carry the top-ranked amateurs in the Southeast and get these pros up and running with these pro-ams it's really been a blessing for us. And we've got a card that is, we got 4 title fights on the line, and these are the top amateurs that you will ever find in the country fighting for these titles. We got a bunch of them on the phone with us tonight, so I can't wait for you to get to hear from them.
Matt Lavelle, let me get your perspective on how everything's shaping up for Strike Hard 22.
Well, I don't want to take up too much time, but this card is phenomenal. This card is going to be action-packed. As David said, with 4 title fights, how can you get it rolling? You got some phenomenal guys getting in the cage. It's sure to be some excitement.
Now, David, I am pretty sure that your lineup is a little bit different from what I've got because, as we all know, in the wonderful world of mixed martial arts, things are subject to change at any particular point in time, and what happens in the office may not always get out to the media outlets until you get a chance to really get the. It's like, we've had a change this to this. So I'm going to ask you, if you would please come on in and take point.
Well, I sure will. I'll tell you, I'll go through these title fights real quick. I know we got Kevin Fitzpatrick and Nick Davis on the line, and that's Nick with a K. I give him a hard time about that. But you want to talk about two heavyweights. Kevin Fitzpatrick is coming off, I believe, what was that, a 9-second knockout, Kevin?
Just 8 seconds.
That was an 8-second. I've jacked that one up twice for him. I called it 11 seconds on Facebook, which he corrected me, and 9 seconds now on the air, and he's corrected me again. You don't mess with a man's 8-second knockout, but he knocked out a tremendous opponent and revenged the loss that Kevin had early in his career with Paul Andrus, and what a dynamic way to go. And he's defended his title, his heavyweight strike card title, twice with us. He's won 3 times. And he has he's now got an opponent, Nick Davis, who is no doubt one of the best heavyweight boxers we've ever had on the card. And Nick's been working extremely hard with his ground game, his wrestling defense. We got both of these guys on the line with us now. So, guys, come on in.
Nick Davis, if you would, come on in first. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself, please.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Nick No Dash Davis. I'm originally from Bessemer, Alabama, so I'm from around that way, but I currently reside in Montgomery.
And Nick is he's in the National Guard, and he is also a color guard. So, Nick, we appreciate your service.
Actually,
thank you, sir.
Let me go ahead and dive in on that one, Nick. To you and to all of our members of the Fighting Forces, thank you for your time, thank you for your service, and thank you for your dedication for everything that you do.
Yes, thank you for your support, sir.
Now, give everybody a little bit of your background in mixed martial arts, your dojo or your gym that you train in. Some of your.
I currently I train at Capital City Boxing and MMA. As you know, I started out doing boxing. I don't have any amateur boxing fights, but I've always, just trained. Just came in the gym, just trained in boxing, and then I found MMA, and I just haven't looked back since.
And coming up this coming Saturday, what can Kevin look forward to seeing from you?
I've just been training my butt off, 6 days a week, just constantly training and, dotting all the, crossing the T's and dotting all my I's and just working real hard and just coming better as a fighter. So I'm definitely going to bring my A game.
Kevin Fitzpatrick, come on in. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, I'm originally from New York City. The military brought me to the South. Was living in Columbus, Mississippi. I'm actually currently residing in Prattville, Alabama.
Very close to our capital city, and which I will sit back and say, I'm sorry. Anybody that close to Montgomery, I'm just going to go ahead and say we're going to give you a biohazard suit to take care of everything that happens down there. Now, as far as your background, tell everybody about where you train. Of course, give props in that direction.
For a long time, I trained with Relentless Grappling and MMA out of Columbus, Mississippi. Great school up there. We've got a lot of ties to a lot of other big schools. Down in Prattville now, I'm training with guys at Crutchfield.
Now, this is something I got to ask. You make the reference to New York and, of course, being down here in Alabama. How has the culture shock affected you?
It actually hasn't been as much of a culture shock as you would think, because when I first left New York, I actually lived in Tennessee for a while, and it was pretty backwoods there as opposed to being here. That was a huge culture shock when I was younger.
He went from having to deal with volunteer fans to Titan Tiger fans, kids. Go figure. Guess what? You definitely stepped up in the world. And if I have any Tennessee volunteer fans on the phone, just do me a favor and don't kill me when you see me Saturday night, okay?
Hey, I'll tell you something, Eddie. These two guys right here, not only are they class acts, but they are excellent fighters. Nick Davis is coming off a huge stoppage of a guy from Georgia on the last show, the Strike Hard 20 that was up in Birmingham. Nick Davis shut down, God, what was his name? David, what was his name, Nick?
David Jackson.
Yeah, David Jackson. David Jackson comes from a great camp that we have 2 champions in, and Nick showed off his wrestling and his grappling skills there to come back, and then TKO'd him, knocked him out actually, and so both these guys are coming off a knockout. So this is going to be a great heavyweight battle of 2 of the best heavyweights that I know of in the Southeast. If y'all can find me 2 that's better, I'd like to see them.
Appreciate that, Dave.
Well, gentlemen, I'm definitely...
Absolutely.
Vicky, anything...
Vicky.
Come on in.
Well, I've seen both these guys fight. I've seen Kevin and Nick, and I have to tell you, the last time I saw Nick fight, he was actually in Birmingham at Strike Hard, and I saw like a vast improvement in his overall fight game. So I'm really looking forward to see how he handles himself with Kevin in the ring. It's going to be really good. Really
yeah. I don't think we'll have any doubt that there'll be fireworks in this, and these are 2 big boys. I mean, you're talking about 2 guys that are, in the 6'3", 6'4" range that are pushing, 250 to 265. So these are some big boys with big hands, and they're seasoned. They know what they're doing. I'm looking forward. This is a promoter's dream to have a fight like this on board, and this is just one of our 4 title fights. So.
Now, real quick, Kevin, I asked the question of Nick. I'm going to turn it around back on you. Kevin, what can Nick expect to see from you this coming Saturday night in Birmingham?
Just, good, friendly, healthy competition, and not one to try to talk a lot of smack or anything, but I'm comfortable with wherever the fight can take place.
And for everybody who thought that there was going to be some smack talk tonight, there might be some eventually. You just never know around here. But you know something? That's one thing that sets us apart from different aspects of the national scene, so to speak. We actually do more of the talking inside the cage, inside the octagon, and
there you go.
And when the final results are posted, you get a chance. You know that you've seen a good fight. You don't always you don't always have to let it rip on a microphone in order to prove the point, right, guys?
Exactly. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
And my prediction.
Right. These two guys are class act, and you won't be disappointed. Your $30 ticket for Saturday night, if you were just going to see these 2 guys, would be well worth your ticket price.
Now, if I may, stepping forward for a second, I made the reference to Volunteer and Tiger and Tide fans a minute ago.
Roll Tide, brother.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Roll Tide. Roll Tide all the way.
I have to do this, ladies and gentlemen. Another fight that we're going to bring up is Eric Anders taking on Justin Sumter. Now, Eric, the last time we spoke, the Tide was getting ready to go for the national championship. Now that the title has been won, how big is the smile, dude?
It just goes to show that, Coach Saban, he really knows what he's doing as far as coaching, recruiting, and developing players. When you compare them to, Auburn. Auburn has great players. They just, they just don't develop them as well as Alabama does and some of these other schools. And, Coach Saban, he's really getting it done right now.
David, come on in. Eric Anders taking on Justin Sumter this Saturday night in Birmingham.
This is potentially the fight of the year at 185. We've got a 3-way kind of who's the best in the amateur ranks, and these guys are getting close to having their pro debuts. But you got Eric Anders, Justin Sumter, and Chase Horton. And I'll tell you, I don't know of any 3 guys that are any more well-suited to hold the crown of Strike Hard 185 champion than Eric Anders and Justin Sumter. And then you throw Chase Horton in the mix. I really don't care where you go. I just got back from Las Vegas. I've been at Tap Out facility, at the Roof facility, there's not any better fighters than these guys on the board now. Justin Sumter, last time he fought for us, had a TKO victory over Riley Matheson, who most people thought Riley was unstoppable. And Justin has got a long history of knockouts. He's great on the ground. He's solid all the way around. And he's probably the most noted 185er in the Southeast for being a champion. Then you got Eric Anders, who's been fighting, who played football at 230, who's been fighting at 205, who's making the drop down to 185, is probably the biggest opponent, size-wise, that Justin has ever fought. And Eric Anders is just getting started. I mean, this guy, Eric, what's your, how many fights have you had now? Is it 10 or 11?
Yeah, I'm 8-2.
8-2. He's at 10 fights now, and he's fought a lot in the past year. But you gotta know that Eric is just getting started. He's only been doing MMA a little over a year, and he has beat some of the best guys in the field at 205. Now he's dropping down to face them at 185. So you're seeing a lot of versatility. You're seeing how durable this guy is, and also I've seen a different Eric Anders every single time I've seen him. So it's hard to study him, and that's one of the questions that I'd love to ask Justin. Is Justin? Obviously, you've been around the game for a little while. You're very young. You're still in college. You guys are about the same age now, but how do you prepare for Eric Anders that is ever evolving? And obviously, you see him bounce back off a loss to Chase Horton by armbar to a dropping his last opponent in Birmingham with a TKO, and I'm sure you've seen that. So how do you see that going, and how do you prepare for somebody like Eric?
Well, seeing his videos and seeing his stuff is very impressive. You know what I mean? He has a great skill, but I think my skill set is quite different from the guys that he's faced. And with my skill set in mind, it's going to be a major test for Eric. And I think it also being that he's a 205er, it's going to be kind of a test for me as well. As he comes down, he's probably going to be a little bit stronger. But in my downtime, my last fight was in August. I bulked up a little bit, gained some muscle, and I'm going to come in stronger than I was for that Riley fight the last time I fought there.
Now, for those,
that's excellent. Eric, have you gotten a chance to? I know you have studied some of Justin's last fights.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's a great striker. He'll definitely be the best opponent that I fought. He's got superb striking skills, and he's really good on the ground. So I definitely have my hands full in this one.
Well, for you guys to come up here and fight for Strike Hard at Strike Hard 22, and both of y'all have history with us, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys stepping up here and challenging yourself to face the best fighters that are in the Southeast, to put a name for yourself out there. And like I said, I just got back from Las Vegas a few days ago, promoting you guys, promoting the Southeast, and people are watching you all over the country right now. So, to Eric and Justin, this fight alone, no different than the Kevin Fitzpatrick, Nick Davis fight, is worth the writers getting out and getting their pen and paper ready. And for the fight fans in Alabama or anywhere in the Southeast, come see the next great UFC champions that are going to be developed out of this. This is the place you want to be. I just can't say enough about Eric Anders and Justin Sumter. Class people. And Eric, I got one more thing. I just found out you were an Eagle Scout.
Yeah, I got 3 other brothers, and my mom really pushed us and kind of made us put in our time and put in the work, put in the time, and I think we were all Eagle Scouts when we were 14, which is pretty good. A lot of guys can do stuff at 18, so my mom gets all the credit for that.
Hey, somebody's got their got their radio on or their internet on. If you do, cut that off so we can hear better. Eric, that says a lot about your character, and I want to say something about Eric's character. I have never asked Eric to do something for a promotion or take the time to sign an autograph as being a football player. And Eric's he's becoming well known. He was always known as a football player and then a great MMA fighter, but he's also becoming known as a great human being, and we want to give you, a shout out for doing that, Eric, and it says a lot about your character. And the two guys that we got fighting here are absolute warriors. Justin's got character, class, and confidence as well. This is a great, great, great fight. And I was hoping to have Chase Horton on the call. I don't know if Chase is on the call.
I don't have him on.
Okay, well, Chase, he wanted to be on the call. Chase will be there, and Chase is hoping to get to fight the winner at 185 when this battle is over next Saturday night. To step up and say, hey, let's do it at 185, and then I think all these guys are getting ready to go pro, and we sure hope to have them back on our card as a pro too. So, anybody got anything else they want to ask them?
Actually, do me a favor. We're about to head for the top of the hour break. Justin, let me go ahead and ask you to come in, give shout outs to the gym and to sponsors. Hello, that's gonna be Matt in a few minutes. But give shout outs to training crew, dojo, real quick.
All right, I'm down here in Statesboro, Georgia. I train at Georgia Southern MMA. We have a university club team down here. I also train up in CTC in Savannah, as well as a couple of different gyms up in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. That's where I'm from. Legion MMA, and then a couple of times at Fitness Edge. And shout out to one of my first sponsors is Liquid Engineers in Augusta, Georgia. They gave me the word a couple of weeks ago that they wanted to sponsor me, so I was pretty excited about that.
And Eric, come on in. Let me get shout outs to the dojo, the gym, and all the above.
I train at Champions Freestyle out here in Birmingham. I got a full-time job up there in Huntsville, so I train at a Mavericks Training Center up there as well. And, I'm kind of supporting Roll Tide for Mikey. A little boy up there in Nashville died of cancer, and they started a foundation, so I'm kind of helping them spread the word about that, about cancer research and childhood kids